Masters of the Metaverse, Masters of the Metaverse. They travel through time and space and stuff. Troll them, re-roll them, throw them above. They fly through dimensions, this isn't a bluff. Heroes compelled, they have no choice. The model wins of a secret voice. Masters of the Metaverse, Masters of the Metaverse. Masters of the Metaverse, Masters of the Metaverse.
Okay, so welcome back to Masters of the Metaverse here on Saturdays, 3 p.m. Pacific on Hyper RPG. We are very happy to be here to come and play with you guys. If you haven't seen the show before, it's insane. On that cold open, I couldn't hear the music so much, so my apologies if I was way off. I will put it up later on Twitter with the words and stuff, and you can hear the insanity. And I'll see if I can convince Sarah to sing the backup for me. Thanks, honey. Love you.
I did such a good job.
Never seen the show before. It's a crazy sci-fi mashup. If you know anything about sliders and Quantum Leap, picture shoving those two genres together along with dice. Yes. It's a very interactive show. You yourself, chat, the computerized hyper-reality amplifier and transformer, you really get to dictate and run how this puppy works.
A lot.
The idea is that each one of the performers that you see here, the players in this game, are simultaneously playing two characters. That's right, two in one.
So I got two
and the idea is that they have a pilot identity, a meta-pilot, who through some form of science fiction, insert trope and explanatory language here, finds themselves in the body of an avatar somewhere else. That avatar is in some other world, some other universe, some other reality, and they are able to access their abilities and skills both as a pilot and as their avatar. And through various buffs and trolls that you have action to, you can control just how powerful and well they do as either of those two identities. We are using a modified version of Tristat on this show. That's a question that comes up a lot. It's very modified, but it's, the spirit is still there. Rolling low is better in this game, which those of you who watch DFA know that gives us a huge advantage using the show's dice.
That was not a problem at all last night.
Nope. Yes. On this show, at certain price points, we hand out a very big thank you to the fans that we call a golden waffle. When a golden waffle hits, the idea is that we will solicit from you your name, a musical styling, and a pop cultural thing that you really enjoy, and we will shove those things together to see what happens. This morning was my attempt at Gilbert and Sullivan meets Star Trek: The Next Generation.
It was good.
And so that's where we go with that. So that'll happen at $500 as well as $1,215. We have a new thing that is happening this week as well. For the first time ever, we had a pre-purchasable before the show started, and those have all been unlocked.
Yes!
So thank you to chat for that. The pre-purchase option, what it does is the idea is that as these meta pilots have been transitioning from world to world to world, they have started to pick up bits and pieces of those prior avatar identities that now manifest in their current identity. To make a long story short, that means now they can do stuff they shouldn't be able to do based on where they are.
Because we weren't doing that already.
Exactly. So each one of them has a basic level ability and a boosted ability. And that what happens is the basic is here from the start. So specifically in this case, for Crash Jackson, all day long he's going to have access to a low-powered version of Ultravision, something that his prior identity, Kid Titan, could use. So with Ultravision, it's kind of an X-ray vision that also identifies various power sources and such. So he can do that out to like 20 feet or so. Kelly over there, his ability that he pulled from his prior identity of Riptide, the water-based superhero, he is always able to identify the distance, or he's able to locate water and other liquids and identify where it is. For Sarah, as a bombshell pulling off from her prior identity, somehow she's managed to bring along a few nano-wasps with her. Just enough to keep the team in contact with each other regardless of where they are. And for Strix, who's joining us this week, very happy to have you here, Strix. For her character, her basic ability is that she will be getting a bonus, a 3-point bonus to all social interactions that she makes, as long as they are done in an affirmative manner. It has to be an affirmation. It cannot be a negative social interaction, no bonus for that. And she also can use this with animals However, she will be required to speak in the style of that animal.
Are there going to be any anteaters on this show?
I don't know. It was actually Alien Knitter came up with that, and so that's where it came from. I want to give credit where credit is due.
All right.
If we reach, when we reach $750 total in the store, they will each unlock a boosted version of their power. One use of a boosted version.
Super safe.
One use?
One use.
One use. Ooh!
What's that? What's that? What does that mean?
From the night maintenance crew. We regret to inform you there has been a minor glitch, but everything is working out. There is no cause for alarm, but some of you may find marshmallows in your pockets. We don't know why, but we are working on it. #MetaPoint.
Thank you.
So it has begun.
Yes, Kara Mendez is making sure you know what's going on. The boosted version is $750 and each $750 after that. What'll happen is that Crash will be able to access one use of Kid Titan's Titan Punch.
The bank job.
Yes, exactly. If we find a bank in the Old West, you can punch it. Pardon me. Kelly, you'll have access to one use of Riptide's Geyser, which you can use in many creative ways beyond just hitting things with it.
For example, you could boil some water in your hat.
It's true. That's true. Sarah, you will find that with Bombshell's ability, you are suddenly able to spontaneously manifest and expand the number of nanowasps that you can use into a full swarm.
Yes!
Which you can use to attack something or also to do some of the other things.
That I could do with
used to
swarms.
be able to do with those nanowasps. Take somebody else's form, stuff like that.
Got it.
And for Strix's character, her boosted ability is that she can fire off a blast of Fluffernutter. So a marshmallowy, peanut buttery, sticky substance that can be used to either harm, incapacitate, or find other creative ways to use.
Is it usable for nourishment?
Yeah,
Because I have a pot.
Absolutely.
I have a pot.
Is that going to be a thing every week? I have a pot. I have a pot.
Actually, technically, it's a bowler.
Boo.
Good night, everybody. It's been fun. We'll see you next week.
I'd like
That
to
was
request
awful.
to sit off screen.
Yeah. So that is some of the stuff. There's also one new thing we added to the store this week at $100. I think it is that. But the idea in the store is it's called Rule of Cool. And the idea is that if that is launched, what happens is that all of the players will then need to state what they would like to do in this next round. You in chat will then vote on which option sounds the coolest. That person will immediately on their turn succeed with a 150% success, which means they got a critical, so 100% of damage or a factor, whatever, plus an additional 50%. Everybody else will still have to do what they said they were going to do, but at a 3-point penalty. So it will benefit one of them dramatically, and the rest will be not as much.
And we still have hack attacks, I'm assuming?
Yeah, all of your other buffs are still there.
All right.
All of that fun stuff is in there. And as always, the Zombie Orpheus Patreon backers have helped out the cast
Yay,
beforehand by
Patreon.
voting at Zombie Orpheus's Patreon account, Patreon/Zombie Orpheus. This show is done between Hyper RPG and Zombie Orpheus, so we thank all the backers for their participation and their support. So, reading those off, Crash, you will have 10 extra hit points this week. 10 points of armor.
I'll probably need them now that I'm not superpowered
It's
anymore.
true. It's going to be...
Hopefully the
this will
foes
be
we go up
interesting.
against are
This
also
sounds like-
not superpowered.
I just went from like 300 hit points to 60.
Yeah.
Yes.
It
Uber
hurts.
Baldi, yes. Rule of Cool is collaborative, absolutely. And almost all I believe all of the purchases except for Hack Attack are collaborative. And
That makes sense.
Technically, Hack Attack could be collaborative. It seems like the sort of thing where whoever did it would want to
Have
make
all
the rule.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? So, so Crash, you have 10 points of armor and a +7 you can use.
Oh.
And
right.
Strix, this bonus is really cool because you can use it at any point. You don't have to use it. You don't have to declare it before your action. You can declare it after you know the results.
So
of
like
your
you
roll.
fail and you're like,
cheating.
ooh, I have...
That's exactly what it
We
is.
cheat a lot on this show.
Okay.
So it's fun. Jebediah,
But you only do it once.
you have a +3 this week that you can use.
And you
Plus
can
3?
split it up.
Yep. Jenica, you have 20 points of armor and
Okay.
a +4.
Excellent.
The agent, you have.
Found some.
I was about to endow your character with a new name, but
Hello, Mr. Anderson.
I did that last night. She
I know
got
that's
mad.
exactly the name I was going to use. You have 10 points of armor and a +4 that you can use.
Can I split that up, that +4?
Nope, have to use it in
Okay.
one shot. But that's a great question. Thank you for asking that.
That was so.
I ask every week.
That was so affirmative.
It's true. I get a bonus on my social interactions too.
Hey,
So
what are
really your only
yours?
job is to break
And
curse.
I get a 20 points of armor and a +5 that I can use for one of my characters. So recap. Last week, do you remember where we all? Do you remember where we all left off?
Zombies.
I believe the quote that we heard last was, "Brave."
Exactly. You had been finishing up. The party found themselves in combat in the superhero world of which
Yeah.
you used to be in.
We
Your
were
superhero avatars.
finally gonna kick old armor guy.
were gonna
I'm not
throw
sure about
down
that.
with-
I'm pretty sure Armored Guy was going to kick our butts with
You
all
were
those
going to throw down with Armor Guy.
spiders.
You had set yourself up for your big climactic fight. He was summoning in spider bots from some sort of dimensional portals. He had fully manifested himself up. He actually, if you will recall, had decimated Bombshell.
And he yelled at us.
Had splattered her all across the room, and all of her nanowasps were no longer.
It was no fun.
They were able. Well, in her case, it just meant that her nanowasps couldn't communicate anymore.
Yeah,
and
it was
so they
like
were
an
just-
ant nest that was scattered.
Exactly. It was like this swarm that was just
Ununified.
without any communication.
And sad.
And yeah, he did. He yelled at you a lot when you first showed up.
What was that about?
Or he projected. He didn't yell.
Oh, he yelled.
Oh no, he yelled.
And,
that was yelling.
and actually, on that note, just
yelling.
because there was some confusion, I want to make absolutely certain that the players as well as chat understands that. I'll put it this way: as far as Armor Guy was concerned, everything he yelled at you was true.
So he thinks
He legitimately believes that you are the ones who were murdering superheroes. He legitimately believes that you are the ones who
We
have been
were not
causing
murdering
all of
superheroes.
these problems. And point of order, I must point out, you still aren't 100% certain that your avatars haven't been involved in that.
Bombshell would not
Because
kill
there
people.
were moments of time in which some of you were not present in the avatar when things happened.
Bombshell wouldn't kill people.
So that might have been
So
confusing.
any
For those
of
of you
us-
who have not followed the show, chat can help you out, get you up to speed.
So any
Don't
of us
worry about
could
that.
be the killer, is what you're
It
saying.
is possible that one or more of your prior avatars might be the killer. Is just something I'm saying. But from
Murderers.
but just from the record, just for the
That's a
record,
thing.
Armor Guy legitimately meant everything he said to you about why are you doing this. But in the middle of that battle, you found yourself ripped from the conflict with Armor Guy, thrown back into your Metapod reality, where you were greeted with an opportunity to freshen up and to have a good meal and interact with one another.
Yay for Masters of the Metaverse. Super excited for the new world. It is awesome to have Strix as a guest.
Aww.
I hear she is a confident, affirming owl, smiley face, hashtag MetaCoin.
Yay,
Nice.
thank you.
Thank you very
And
much.
an affirmation. Good job.
Yes, you had the chance to freshen up, to eat, to brief, kind of get yourself all put together, and then you went off to your various quarters. Crash Jackson made sure to go around and say goodnight to everybody and give them hugs and whatnot.
Yes.
The entire facility, everyone there.
So I didn't get much sleep.
No, it took a while to find everyone, but
A
you
lot
did.
of people that work there.
Yeah, but you succeeded.
Yes,
You
and
got
learned the
somewhere,
layout of the building.
which is probably useful down the road. Well thought out for bringing that up.
Crash is an excellent game player. He can play
Yeah,
all the
well,
games in
So,
reality or game
Crash
world.
and Mr. Christian Doyle both.
Yes.
Both. Nice way to metagame that. I like that.
The Metaverse.
Stupid.
So there were also there was an incident that night that your characters are not aware of, where two of your party members, Aquamarine and Rosie, were taken away in the middle of the night.
Whisked away.
Whisked away for reasons we don't know.
A beautiful
So
vacation.
then you found
obviously.
yourself being put back in the pod, sent off on your next mission. Do you remember what your next mission was?
Yeah,
landed
there was a
prairie.
pilot who was in his pod
Right.
and he was missing,
Oh, right.
and
We're
his
supposed to
mind
find him.
wouldn't go back into his body, so we have to go find him.
Correct.
We don't
Correct.
know what happened. Maybe he's glitched or something.
Yes,
but we're gonna go find
somehow
him.
one of the project's meta pilots has completely split, and he has managed to throw his entire personality in that other avatar world.
Rule our flowers, gingerly flowers, but butterfly unicorn and pumpkin gingerly.
Oh, we're into this.
So-
Gingerly a butterfly, rainbows, butterfly
How many
flowers
words?
that bunnies flowers.
Can someone explain this to me?
Butterfly,
You'll hear
unicorn,
it.
rainbows, joyful flowers, hashtag break the bomb.
Word editor.
So we discovered
Thank
last
you.
week, I think it was, that was
What did we get?
the realization that the Twitch censor bot
Has a strange sensor.
is just really not that smart. And so that message was, our association asserts assuredness, but Dickensian Dickening among assemblymen titillates assets of titanium assassins titanically, tithes of titles assuages, is that how you pronounce that word?
Centers assuredly.
Assuages and centers assuredly, assembling assumptions, assimilating assertive assets.
So if it has the word
Hashtag break the block.
Ass tit or dick.
Yes, all of these words will
We
be
found that last
censored,
week,
even
we
if
couldn't
they...
say
when they get
Bunny,
censored,
rainbow.
they turn into flowers,
Yeah,
bunnies,
because someone
rainbows.
was trying to say something about Kid Titan, and every time they said Kid Titan, it
was
said
like
puppies
kid
and rainbows
puppies.
and
Kid
unicorns.
puppies.
We're like,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
why is Kid Titan being censored?
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is the new game.
But
I got the
bastard
word
and
kid
scrotum?
in it.
Okay.
Right.
Really?
Yes.
Yes, bastard and scrotum, you can both say.
Yes, yeah.
Now
so
I kind of want to test the limits of this.
they've been
we
working on
have
it for
a
us.
That's why
very
we know
active chat who's
scrotum
working
works.
on that
Our chat
project
is
for
hard
us.
at work. figuring out-
Do the good work, folks.
We have the people power to do this.
Okay, so Rosie
yes.
and Aquamarine got hauled away.
Okay.
So someone asked me to do some affirmations. So let's do it. You're all shimmering, fluffy anteaters. Hashtag Lady Cares, hashtag Ask Technology forever.
Thank you, Lady. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. So you've leapt into a new reality. Do you remember what that new reality was?
There's a prairie.
Yeah, it was very clearly like late 19th century-ish.
Yes,
Based on
But
our dress and
There was a hippie with a pan on his head,
correct.
and a very, very genteel lady all in black,
Yes.
and zombies, right?
zombies. That was the
There was
thing that
zombies.
Heard it
stuck in my mind.
Correct. So let's get you up to speed and let's jump in.
All right. And then I'm not seeing what's on our. We've gotten a couple things that I haven't seen.
Oh, has nothing up there?
Well, we
I'll
have
check mine.
3 meta points.
Three
but-
meta points is
But
the
other
only thing
things
that's-
happened, and I don't know what.
Meta points are the main things that have been happening
Okay.
right now. Yeah. QQ. I'm seeing that there is some echo on some of the mics, but I don't know which one. I just saw a reference to that in chat, so just so you know.
All right.
Cool. So, okay, so much backstory to give you. So that's what happens when we change worlds.
Let's play.
There's a lot to do. So you found yourself whisked through space and time, dropped into these new avatars, these new identities, and so go ahead and put yourself halfway on the spectrum. These new identities in this new world. There was a gentleman, an older African American gentleman with a close cropped beard. If he takes off his hat, you'll see that he's actually balding quite noticeably. Stereotypical cowboy style clothing, a revolver at his hip. On his horse, he has a rifle as well. But there are other horses there tied up for you guys also.
Oh, okay.
And as you may recall, at the very end of the episode last week, he was pointing out to you that a group of people was coming over the hill and that they were incoming and on their way. And just to hack through some exposition and get us towards the parts where you can all interact, because I feel like doing that.
Be nice. And
Because
you're
we had
in
a lot.
charge.
Exactly, we had a lot of stuff. So let's
You can do that.
Exactly, I love that. So what? I'm just going to do it this way. He reveals to you through various conversations that you glean pieces from, and you ask questions that he doesn't realize how clueless you are. His name is Tyrone Whitaker.
Tyrone.
Yep. And he reveals to you, you were able to pick up from your conversation with him as these other two figures are moseying in your direction with this herd of zombies, or a shuffling of zombies, I was told by chat last week, that you have been hired by Senora Valdez de Villa.
Valdez de Villa.
Valdez de Villa. I took German in high school. It was not useful for my life. I regret that regularly. No offense to the Germans watching.
Hashtag full rule. Team even lives. Also, let us build towards more classic insanity. Also, happy birthday, Praxis Kiddo.
Yeah.
Well played. So what that was is people are contributing towards Rule of Cool, but it hasn't been flat out purchased
I
yet.
understand.
Yep,
And
okay.
that last one was making it an even number.
I got it.
So,
Thank you, chat.
reveals.
Chat.
Thank you, Chad. Reveals that you have been hired to protect this herd,
Okay.
which Senora de Villa.
De Villa.
I'm gonna be looking at you two a lot for this.
And you would say the whole name, Valdez de Villa.
Valdez de Villa. I might get lazy at some point, and I'm gonna play it off on the fact that these characters are just as ignorant as I am. I'm going to use that to my advantage. But you've been hired to protect this herd from potential rustlers and other, issues, natural or otherwise.
All right.
Natural. We're talking about zombies. On this trip from Vacaville, California, out to the Kingdom of Yosemite.
Okay. So we're going basically east.
Yes, she has hired you to protect the herd as these zombies are on their way out there to be sold off. Zombies in this area are being used for manual labor. Because they have a great work ethic. They never complain.
Don't have to feed them either.
Yeah, I mean, well, they feed them a. It's kind of a. I hate to use the word synthetic because I think of more modern tech when I say the word synthetic, but it's a. It is a crude mixture that has been created to keep down their bloodlust.
Oh.
And keep them relatively docile.
It's completely vegan.
Yeah, it is actually.
That would turn anyone docile.
Yeah, there's a heavy amount of a grape. What is it? Pumice. The leftovers from.
What time of year is it?
From pumice. The stuff that's used in the leftovers when you make wine and such.
Mm-hmm.
What?
What time of year is it?
It is springtime.
Yay!
Excellent. Then it won't be too hot.
Yeah. So glad I didn't say summer. That's true. I've been out there. I'm really glad. And zombie infection itself is actually fairly rare. If a zombie does attack somebody in this reality,
What does cause a zombie infection in this world?
It's still a mystery to a degree. It's something began the outbreak. There are some conflicting reports as to what it might have been.
We may have chased down one of the glitches in the system. It's presently redacted and has resulted in a beta expunge, so we put the text on replacing it. Unfortunately, they seem to be dealing with a Belgian problem. Hashtag MetaPoint, hashtag damn waffles.
Thank you.
So it happened sometime near the end of the Civil War.
Okay.
And this zombie plague rose up, which was especially unfortunate because of all the soldiers who had perished in the war. And this led to a schism where the east coast of what we would consider today to be the United States has basically walled itself off from the west.
Because the zombies.
Correct. And so they managed to, with their armies, kind of push all the zombies off in that direction. The East Coast, we won't get into that because you're not there and you characters don't know this stuff yet.
But do we know how you contract zombieism? Like, is it a curse or does someone bite you?
There does seem to be a way to pick it up from a zombie attack, but again, it's not a guarantee.
So we should be
There are people who have
around the zombies.
Yes, there are people who have been bitten by zombies and not gone full zombie.
Full zombie.
So, so what exactly is causing this is still to be determined.
Okay.
But yeah, so.
But either way, we've monetized them.
Correct.
This is America.
Well, it's America.
Of course.
It's a resource. There's a way to monetize it. So we're. Is it okay to make that joke?
No.
Probably not if you have to ask.
It's just funny we're talking about monetize. Like, we're all sitting here playing an RPG on the internet right now. I mean, you get creative. There are ways to, work together to do anything. So anyway.
Merca.
For money.
Merca.
It's a hell of a hobby. I like this hobby. I'm just saying. So yes, but because the spread of zombies because the stock of zombies has not been dramatically increasing, that also makes them more valuable.
Okay.
Because they are to a certain degree a limited resource. Like it's not as easy as just saying, well, let's have these zombies attack this village, and now all of a sudden I can swoop in and I've got 500 more zombies.
Sure.
Because that would be terrible.
Yes.
Yeah. And let's be honest,
murder.
that's
And also
exactly
America.
what would happen. That's exactly what would happen. Someone would be
We don't like those
I
people.
think I found a hack.
Sick the zombies on them.
Your group, the three of you in particular, I'll just go with your new identities, your new avatars. For Richard Gatling and for Johnny Appleseed and Emily Dickinson, Ninja Emily Dickinson. You three have worked together before. You're not like a team in the sense of an organized group.
But Emily is familiar with Johnny and
But as far as
and I
contract
love
work
working
like
with
this
Miss
is
Emmy.
concerned,
it's Emily.
you've worked together before.
Yes.
You have some familiarity with each other's skill sets and such. So, with all of that then, Tyrone looks over, has gotten up from the pot of chili that he was cooking and dusted himself off, and he says, well, you're getting close. She's one hell of a woman, I tell you. That Senora Valdez de Villa. She owns a big chunk of Los Angeles, and what I can tell, she's been investing around the Bay lately.
In that case, if I'm a landowner, it's actually Doña.
Doña?
Yes, not Senora.
Doña.
You didn't tell me about that.
Inye,
Yeah,
Doña.
he doesn't know what an name.
More words than I get to mispronounce later on. I can gringo with the best of them. This is going to be great. Doña Valdez Villa and her herd overseer, William Taskins, a.k.a. the Deadhead, because he's responsible for the herd of zombies, are on their way towards you guys. And seriously, let's just speed up and say that they arrive.
They're here.
So
Are we We're not nervous about this because Tyrone has told us that.
your avatars wouldn't be. I don't know how
Okay.
you're feeling as pilots right now because you've got a herd of,
Luckily, I am right on the edge.
And I just came out of a superhero world where I got exploded, so I'm just happy I'm on one piece.
That's true. That's true. So, Deadhead, William Taskins, I'm probably just going to call him Deadhead a lot. He and some of the other lower ranked zombie boys and girls, I don't know what the term would be, they go off to tend to the herd, make sure that they are not wandering too far, keep an eye on them. Excuse me. Whereas the Doña comes over to greet you all and introduce herself. And as soon as she does, the three of you are immediately aware that she is kind of giving off this sense that there's something about her person that you are pretty sure you are staring at another metapilot.
We can always tell.
You can tell. There's something about them.
Something.
All right.
Something about the way they move.
So do we discuss that before she comes over?
Well, she has now arrived.
She has
Right
now
there,
arrived.
yeah.
All right.
Well then, these are my new hands.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. This is Tyrone speaking. Tyrone. I didn't even realize I did that. Yes, ma'am. This is Tyrone. You're so sorry, chat. Yeah, these are them, and it's a good group. I think you're gonna like them.
Well,
Pleasure to meet you, miss.
you look all right. What's your names?
My name is Professor Richard Gatling, ma'am.
You hired a professor to herd zombies?
Oh, he's got skills. He's got skills.
Oh, he's definitely got skills. This man knows
And
a
what
lot
are
of
those
things about a lot of
Well,
things.
I have created a series of inventions that are used for non-lethal deployment and subjugation of anything that might be walking on 2, 4, 3, or 5 legs.
Especially zombies.
Well,
Very
that pleases me to hear.
Also, I translate for Jonathan.
Just Johnny.
He needs translation. What language does he speak?
I speak English. Pennsylvania. Johnny Appleseed. Johnny Chapman, perhaps you heard of me?
Johnny.
Johnny Appleseed.
Apples.
Appleseed.
Apathy?
Jonathan's
Appleseed.
a bit of a famous figure in these parts.
Apple.
Oh,
Seed.
apple. As
Apple
in what
seed.
you eat.
Apple seed.
Manzana. Yes.
You know, throw the
Entiendo.
seeds down on the ground, you grow the trees.
I thought you were a myth.
I am a myth. Mr. Johnny Appleseed.
Okay, you will need to translate. That's true.
He assures you he's a real person.
Good.
Definitely a real person.
Not only a figure of legend, but a beating, bloody heart.
What? May I ask what is with the?
With this,
Yeah.
usually I wear a pot on my head so that when we're camping I can cook and stuff. But Miss Emmy, see, she was telling me that
Emily.
Buffs for all, hashtag Jackson Buff, hashtag Jebediah Buff, hashtag Janika Buff, hashtag Agent Buff.
Thank you so much.
That's awesome. This is what I mean by flailing. Did you see? It just
I
kind
did.
of
Mhm.
So
I aimed away from the mic.
she was telling me that it was makes me a little off. It's off-putting.
Oh no.
I don't like being off-putting to people because I like people. So I started looking through some of the catalogs for something more culturally appropriate, and I found out that in Boston, which I'm from Massachusetts, the latest craze is bowlers. So I got myself a bowler.
A bowler is a.
He heard that a
felt
bowler
hat.
was a very fashionable headwear item, and
That's
so
what I
found a bowl and put it on his head, as he is Johnny Appleseed
My
and
bowler.
can get away with it.
As long as you can wrestle these zombies, I don't care much what you put on your head.
I claim no responsibility for the man's attire.
It was her idea.
It was not my idea.
And you?
I am Emily Dickinson.
That's Miss Emily Dickinson.
It is Miss Emily Dickinson.
She's an author.
I am.
Least she-
Now, I
she
know she
tried.
appears to be a Mrs. Emily Dickinson, but I assure you she is not.
Yeah, because they keep missing her.
I am not sure that my marital status is relevant to the task at hand. Can
It
we
certainly
continue?
isn't.
Thank you.
He scares the living hell out of me.
And what kind of skills you bring into this outfit, Miss Emily?
Oh, well, when I am not writing poetry, I am a ninja.
Come again?
I fight acrobatically and with great skill.
She's a spy.
Yeah, none of us know what that word means either. But she insists.
You look like a fighter. You got nice, good tone.
I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
You could, if you wanted, you could demonstrate your blade work or something.
Oh,
Ooh.
blades.
Well, hot damn.
Yeah, she has a couple of retractable Assassin's Creed style blades that can pop out and be used in various
So they,
prickly ways.
That's.
and then they retract.
I've never seen a weapon like that before.
You should see what she has in her bustle.
I've had the pleasure of meeting several famous authors throughout my travels, and she is by far the stabbiest.
She got guns too.
I can write pointedly and attack pointedly.
Good. I think I'm going to like you. Well,
Thick as thieves, those two.
we got to
already.
get this herd out to Yosemite.
Yes,
I don't want to lose any heads.
I don't either.
We'd prefer
I've
not
had
to lose
enough-
heads either.
Not
Yeah.
your heads.
I've had enough death in my life. Let's keep the undead as undead. I don't.
Now, what
we'll
can
just
you
go.
tell us about where we are going? I have not been to Yosemite.
I've been through Yosemite. It's a beautiful country. I planted some trees there. Lots of them, actually.
Johnny?
Really? You planted some trees. Johnny, do tell me all about it.
They was apple trees.
Why did you ask? me
Were
to
they?
start?
They were apple trees. Emily, did
Is
you
this gonna
hear
be a
that?
running
Emily,
thing?
as a-
Okay.
As a point of
I-
note,
I'm
heard
going to
it.
stop y'all right here.
some peach trees too.
When I say stop, that means stop talking, because I'm running this outfit, okay? I like to be concise, and I like to
Concise.
drive straight for what I'm going for. Now,
Straight
you
for
seem like a brilliant man. You have lots of ideas. That is wonderful.
It is.
But we need to focus.
Focus.
And I think with that hat, you're going to be able to do that. So,
Oh, well, this hat definitely helps me concentrate.
so to answer your question, we're heading to the Kingdom of Yosemite.
The kingdom of Yosemite. So the
Kingdom of
rumors are
Yosemite.
true.
Excellent. How far
Yeah.
east do we have to go to get to this kingdom? I have never been there. I tend to stay more or less at home unless I'm out fighting.
Tyrone says, well, ma'am, it's about 180 miles, give or take, from where we are today.
Okay, it's a long trek.
So it'll take us a little bit of time, but, you know.
Oh, it's not that far. It's not like it's going to take a whole season.
No, round about a week, maybe 10 days, depending on the weather.
Short trip, short job.
Yeah, I mean, it is springtime, so the river is a little wider and deeper. That could be an issue for us.
I can probably take care of that.
Fording with the herd is going to be a little complicated. We won't be
Do zombies swim?
welcome at most
No, but
of
they
your
don't breathe either,
standard.
so I guess that wouldn't be that
Most
much.
of your standard river crossings we're not going to be encouraged to make use of. You know, people seem to like the work the zombies do, but they don't like to see them while they're working.
That's fair. They're
So-
ugly.
And a bit dangerous. You should know that you should not really keep your appendages hanging out anywhere near any of the herd.
It was not something I was planning on doing.
Just so that we're clear.
I try to keep most of my appendages inside.
That's good. So we're going to be handing these zombies over to the ruler of Yosemite, one Theodore. Don't know him too well yet.
King Theodore.
King Theodore.
Self-proclaimed King Theodore.
Finally, a king in America.
Hey, we just sell the heads as high as the price that we can get them, and Theodore's paying.
Okay.
So y'all have any questions for me?
No. I'm.
When do we leave?
Yeah.
Well, we can still make good time this morning, because it's morning.
Sure, now it is.
Yep, it's morning.
Chili for breakfast makes
We
sense.
met. We had the chili. It was dusk last time, but it's okay. You guys actually met. You had some conversation. You slept well. You got up, and hey, it's
Now
morning.
it's morning. Okay.
Now it's morning. So we'll head out.
I love hand waving that stuff.
Time dilation
Yeehaw.
is a beautiful thing.
It is.
So do we have horses or what?
Yes,
Yeah,
there were
you
horses
each
tied up for us.
have a horse that is saddled up for you. And you know what? If you have a preferred style or appearance for your horse, you just go right ahead and endow it right now.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, I just want to make sure that I just want to make sure he's outfitted properly. So I
Absolutely.
open up my case and put on
Yeah.
my Gatling special horseshoes, which don't really do anything, but they have magnets in them. Which I've decided that if we were to go into a mine or something, we should be able to climb on walls.
Why would we be in a mine on a horse?
Doesn't matter. You have to be prepared for every possible thing.
There's always continuing.
Sounds about right.
Well, I've got a very spirited, beautiful Appaloosa that's painted gray and white with some speckles on its bottom, white mane, and a very lovely disposition.
Oh,
I affirm your choice of horse.
my horse is mean and bites me. Probably the shoes.
Probably the shoes.
I have never much cared for horses, but my horse is serviceable as any. Its name is Trotter.
Horses are like people. They're not machines. You got to treat them with respect, and they have personalities.
I treat all nature with respect. I appreciate the science behind every living thing.
Now, your horse may not wish to be courted, but if it does, remember to follow the rules.
I do not court horses.
That's a pretty sure not a good idea.
No.
Personally, I'm much for riding horses. I make better time with, my own 2 feet.
Johnny.
So I usually let my horse carry some of her stuff because she always comes with these bags and chests and all this stuff that she needs for her. So I just give it to her.
We're not supposed to talk
Weapons.
about her bags or her chests. We talked about this.
Not that.
Is there some sort of luggage you're carrying I should know about?
Just weapons
Oh, well, that's fine.
and books.
As long as it doesn't slow us down.
No,
Weapons and books. It's almost the exact same thing that I carry.
they're the most important things.
She carries a lot of reams of paper with her too. Pens.
So you guys set off, and Tyrone is riding with y'all, and Deadhead is back with the herd, keeping an eye on them, along with the rest of the the other herd folk who are helping out.
There we go.
There now. What a good girl.
There's probably you've got a herd that's probably 600 strong.
600 head. Not bad.
600 zombies.
Yep. And
That's a lot of dead flesh.
yeah, it's true. True. Full disclosure,
is
I've
there a
been really
smell?
reluctant to endow a number for them. I'm still regretting doing it right now, but that's okay.
Is there a smell?
Of the zombies?
Yes.
Oh yeah, they smell like rot. I mean,
Okay,
that's,
before I got on the horse, I picked up a little bouquet of flowers that I knew were nice, and I have it like the nose.
just a little pouch you can hold up every once in a while. And
Zombie
that's fine.
cowboys usually carry a bag of onions on the back of their horse so they don't have to smell the zombies all day.
I also do not wish to smell onions, so I
But
picked
onions
flowers.
are delicious.
Garlic is actually a better choice because it keeps mosquitoes away
So
as well.
expensive
And
and doesn't
vampires.
grow here.
Hashtag cool rule. The rainbows unicorn by the night love of bunnies by their butterfly scrotums.
I love
Let
butterflies.
it feel for the bastard joyful of gingerly axis whose butterfly I love. Bunny's puppy, the bullets, butterfly, the unicorns.
I can't even even if I try to look at it in real time, I can't because I get so lost as to
In
where
the bunnies
it is.
and unicorn.
Yeah, we're still moving towards that rule of cool. The muffins, assaulted by the night mufflers, were muffed by their assistants' scrotums while they dickered over the something titillations of the twaddling arses whose associations were Titanic assets, assuming the bollocks assuaged the unicorn.
But dickered is such a good word.
It
I
is a
got
good
nothing.
word.
So is twaddling.
I really don't know.
And muffled. Come on.
Did I while I was
Nothing
looking at
like a
that-
little bit of muffled twaddling to get you through the
one
day.
more glitch down. We expect that should keep things stable for now. Be cautious about fording the river, though. I've heard that's as bad an idea as letting that Mordecai fellow near the pods. Oh
That's
God, there he is again. I gotta go. Hashtag rule of cool.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Chat.
Thank you, chat. We continue to build towards that. I was going to say, just that reminded me. Did I tell you at the start that QQ did the new overlay?
Thank you,
I meant to say that.
You
If I
didn't
didn't
tell
say
us.
that, I'm sorry. But while we're on a tangent for a moment, give major props to QQ for that
Looks
awesome
amazing.
overlay.
She's awesome.
Like
So
it a
awesome.
lot. Thank you, QQ. So you guys set off. You've got about 180 miles to go.
I'm assuming we're kind of like around the herd, so that we're kind of helping.
Yeah, your group, I mean, you guys are running security, so to speak, so you are free to, with Johnny Appleseed deciding to go on foot, you're going to pretty much want to stay near the point and just keep moving forward with, with the leads. The other two of you are free to kind of, take your time. You can ride near the front, near the back, scout around, etc. The same for Maria. She can do the same thing because you're paying for the operation. So, but there's plenty of opportunity for you guys to chat and such. You're moving towards the river. That's going to be your first big thing to deal with, is how to get across the fairly large Sacramento River with this large herd of zombies.
A quick question,
Yeah.
just on numbers. How many zombies are we talking about?
600.
600.
Yeah.
600 head.
Even?
Ish.
Roughly.
On
Roughly.
the dot.
Assuming they're all accounted for at all times, 600 zombies.
Now, I do want to warn you, there have been rumors of flesh bandits in the area, so I don't want to lose any stock to that.
Flesh bandits.
It is what it sounds like.
I figured it
like
was.
like horse rustling, only different.
Since I
You
have.
said it's a bit like horse rustling, but different.
No, I got that.
Oh, okay. You're catching on. See? Takes
She
a
seems
minute.
like a smart lady.
If,
With Adania and all, it's got to be.
I would
pretty
like to
smart.
look around and make sure that I do not see any threats on my side of the herd. I have urban tracking as Emily.
I mean, wilderness tracking would be a lot more useful to you in this situation, but if you want to give me an urban tracking check at a 4-point
true.
penalty, you
All
can
right.
go ahead and do that.
All right.
You guys do
I-
have, currently buff-wise, you each have an individual buff for yourself. You also have 4 meta points as a party. that
I'm
you
going to
can
spend
use.
one of them so I don't have to roll 12s.
And we
Take
are
your
working
shot.
our way towards a rule of cool.
All right. Ooh! Wait.
That's a 10, right?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
10. I did not beat that.
You did not?
No.
No, you don't notice any problems.
Maybe you give it a try, Johnny?
Oh yes, I'll give it a try. That's what most of what I'm doing is going to be watching around
Keeping
the
an eye,
edges and
yeah,
keeping
yeah.
an eye, making sure there ain't no wolves,
You
bears,
go,
anything
you go
like
ahead and
that.
give me
Flesh
a
bandits.
wilderness
Flesh bandits.
tracking.
Don't like them flesh rustlers.
Yep.
Oh yes, I beat it by 2.
By 2?
No, beat it dead on.
Be a dead on. Yeah, you're not seeing anything that indicates any potential threats to the herd right now.
Okay, so the river.
Yeah.
But we gotta go look at it first before we decide what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's take a look at this river.
Is there a particularly shallow part of the river?
Someone give
I
me
got
a
wilderness survival. I can
Yeah,
check it up
that's
and
what I
down.
want. It's a wilderness survival.
I'm going to spend 1 point to move a bit closer here to
Okay.
Johnny's personality so I can, get some better dice here. But
I'll roll with d12s.
do I get any kind of a bonus or just a flat roll?
Nope.
It's just a flat roll,
12
and then you
Nope.
also.
I'll
could
use
do-
my +3 because getting across this river is important.
It is important.
So that'll beat it by 3.
By 3.
I failed my roll.
Okay. Does anyone else
Badly.
have any kind of wilderness tracking or survival?
No,
Or
but
survival, excuse
I
me.
suppose since this is an important role, I could give him my buff, if that would help him.
I mean, I want to, except then we should have declared it before it happened. But I tell you what, here's what we'll do. Jebediah
Yeah.
has access to an ability that would be very useful right now. Your water sense.
That's a good point.
Agent buff. Hashtag Jackson buff. Hashtag Jebediah buff. Hashtag Jebediah buff. Audience a point.
Thank you.
That's
Happy
awesome.
National Tabletop Day. Oh,
Yay.
and watch out for our connection is lost.
Thank you for that, chat. Yeah, watch out for the. I'm going for its tunnel.
Oh.
And since that is an actual, just straight up sense, I'm going to go ahead and use that
Yeah,
with it.
exactly. So between your wilderness, I love that we just found a use for it already. Between
Makes me happy.
yeah, I know. Between your wilderness survival role, coupled with your innate ability as Jebediah to sense water and such, you are able to start sussing out a section of river that does seem relatively shallow.
This was going to be a tip that focused on rules and detailed information and technical planning and lots of words to break the bot. But then I hand-waved it hashtag full rule.
Woohoo! There
Thank
it
you.
is.
All right, so
we
now
have
we
a
have
full
to rule of
we have a
cool.
full rule of cool as
Yeah.
a result
Thank
of
you,
that.
Jack.
Damn.
So we will drop that.
Win. Now?
No.
Boy, that's tempting to drop it now, but I also kind of want to do it when you guys are being threatened by something.
Like a river?
How soon are we going to be threatened by
Hey,
something?
just let me think for a moment. I want to give the
So
people
what does
what
it
they
look
like.
like when you're doing this? Are you like sticking your hands in the water?
Oh, yeah.
Are you like
I'm walking
communing?
through it with my, let my feet,
Your
feeling
feet
the
touch it,
mud
yeah.
with my toes.
It
If you
looks
wanted,
like
you
a
could
crazy
pull out a
person
dowsing
with a
stick.
pot on his head.
Yeah, I bring a
Already-
dowsing stick that I gotta,
Yeah.
dip in the water there. I check it all the old-fashioned ways.
Harvey loves you all.
Aw.
Let's hope this spell works. Hashtag mana points, hashtag Jackson, hashtag Jebediah, hashtag Javika, hashtag agent.
Yay, thank you.
Yay,
Thank you for
Harvey.
that.
Awesome. Thanks, Harvey.
Thank you very much.
So I'll just lean over to Emily and be like, "What is he doing?"
He's a little of a hippie, and we just let him do
That
what
was
he's
Rosie.
going to do.
I saw that it was Rosie.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah. So
Thanks,
you-
baby.
Thanks,
we
Dave.
miss you. So actually, I should also explain that to you guys because it is a little confusing, especially with the change of worlds and all of that. Remember that you three already know that you are each a pilot and the avatar.
Right.
Right.
But you're also, you guys are aware that you are pilots and avatars. And so you can, when you are interacting, And I know it can be a little confusing at times, but when you're interacting, feel free to blend those identities as appropriate based on your status.
And where we are on here.
Correct.
It's like
I am doing so.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So, yeah, you can talk. Well, I guess what I'm saying is it's okay to talk about how he's.
I know, but I'm closer to Emily right now.
That's true.
I'm sort of Jenica's
You play
less
you.
in my mind.
You do it all for you all want to do. I mainly want to make sure you guys knew that was an option.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so you are able to, Johnny, to between hacking into Johnny's skills and Jebediah's mystical, whatever the hell.
Find a good spot.
You're
where we
able to
get
find a
across.
spot in the river that, they're still going to have to wade through. It's still going to come up at least, to their chest, more or less.
But if we find a way
For
to
those of
tether them
you-
together and
Yeah,
such,
those
we
of
can
you
just-
who are on horseback, it won't be an issue. The horses will be fine going through. It seems relatively safe.
So I want one of you downriver in case any of these mucks fall down and we gotta scoop them up.
Rots is the preferred term.
Rots.
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 Yeah.
I do not mind
All right,
heading
and
across the river.
I have a bit of an engineering solution to this. These things don't breathe, right?
Correct.
No.
Correct.
Well, why don't we just... And I start drawing out a plan of basically lashed together with rubber bands, zombies, head to foot, in a kind of makeshift bridge that gives in the middle that we can walk across. I mean, we'd be stepping mostly on zombie heads the whole time, but we'd get across and we could just pull the lot of them over when we were done.
Friend, could we have them be face down so that we are not likely to get bit?
They-
That's the whole plan, yeah.
Okay.
It's in the blueprint.
I just wanted to make sure.
Hashtag full rule waited too long, so deleted the joke. Oh bollocks, I can't believe it. BZZZTTT is coming. I repeat, BZZZTTT crackle crackle pop. Hashtag bullheads for all. Hashtag team on. Hashtag team palindrome.
We're building towards another rule of cool.
Awesome. So I like your plan. It sounds very interesting, but we don't actually need help getting across.
No,
what
no.
we need to ensure is that no zombies fall and they get swept downriver. That's
right.
the problem.
What
we
I'm
need to
doing
solve.
is creating a net of zombies to keep the zombies from going downriver.
So some of the zombies will become a net, and other zombies will traverse the terrain.
Right. I don't figure it'll take more than 50 or so to get the job done.
The only issue is that, in order to bind these rats, you gotta kind of get up in their grills, and that's when they can bite you. It's high risk.
You don't keep zombies normally? I mean, they are bound, right?
They are. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not worried about a little bite there.
They're in standard zombie transport gear.
Yeah, you see, if you keep their hands bound in front of them or behind them, they don't even think of attacking. However,
they're
when they
most
come
dangerous.
unbound,
I apologize. I should have explained this. And the good professor has a point. The zombies are most dangerous when they're able to get into an attack position.
if they're able to do this, they will attack.
They will immediately attempt to attack. But if you keep their hands bound, they're much more docile. Because
And I've also found if you put a ball gag in the mouth, keep it on real tight,
yeah, we're not doing that.
they don't bite you.
We're not doing that. You're right. We're not doing that.
Johnny, you are much too young.
Yep.
Let's go.
Oh, that's because of the season. She don't know about that yet. So.
All right, well, let's
She'll
give it a
figure
try.
it out in time.
But I still
Come
want
in
someone
time.
downriver just in case.
So,
I am happy to go across.
so
and be
sure,
downriver.
Richard Gatling, give me a. Let's see, you've got mechanics. don't you?
Engineering or mechanic? Yeah, mechanics.
Yeah,
would
why
be,
don't you give me a roll for both, please?
Friend, we also have meta points that you may
I
spend.
guess it wouldn't be. No, I guess mechanics would be engineering in there.
Yeah, it would be free in your case for this, yeah.
Okay.
Spend a meta point. Move a little dice up.
Well, I don't see why not. I'll spend a meta point and
You go right ahead.
move over just a little bit more to Gatling's end of things.
Like those better.
Better odds are good. I like
While
that.
he's constructing the net of zombies, I am going to write a poem about the river.
I beat it
I
by
like it.
8.
It is literally about to be a river of death, so that might be a good
Oh,
thing.
I'm sure
for
that
Emily to
I
write
have
about.
something in here to do
What?
with river of
I beat
death.
it by 8.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, you've constructed a beautiful net out of zombies.
Using my my ball of endless twine, rubber twine that I've created myself, vulcanized. Now you can get this will change your life. One roll of this will last you nearly a lifetime. It's basically duct tape. He's always trying to sell his inventions. He can't help it. It's a job, right?
So you have created an early version of duct tape?
Well, it's rubber duct tape. It's like
I see what you're saying.
it's real stretchy and it's like electrical tape.
You know what? Between Gadgeteer and Gadgets, absolutely, I'll allow it.
It's one of my minor gadgets.
I was going to say it is one of your gadgets then, so we'll need to track that down. Since there is a cap on how many of those you get. But that's a useful one. I like that.
Yeah.
So Gatling works with your crew to get about 50 or so of the zombies bound up in a way such that they can be lined up through the river, and they start those herdsmen start wading those zombies through the river and get them situated. So you've got some on one end, some on the other end, and they're just kind of standing there in the water. Looking down river, just kind of.
Nice. So we all start stomping on the heads of them as we go across.
Well, you don't have to stomp on their heads.
No. They're like I said, they're hand to foot.
Well, I'm just saying, you guys are in horses. Like, there's really no reason for
we're
you
not
to.
We're just gonna walk. The other zombies are walking.
The zombies across that.
The zombies are gonna walk.
I thought you were trying to create. I thought you were trying to create like a net.
Yes.
Through the river.
Yes.
So that if anyone is walking through and gets pushed by water, they hit the net.
They get caught by zombies, right?
Yes.
So they just keep walking.
So if that is a net, which I picture as a person with object, I'm confused about why.
Well, I imagine
anyone
some of
would-
the net has to be laying directly on the floor to keep anything from going under it, so you might be stepping on some, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. So if you're walking right next to it, oh well.
I felt a funeral in my brain, and mourners to and fro kept treading, till it seemed that sense was breaking through hashtag rule of cool.
Thank you.
It's awesome.
Thank you.
It's lovely, Emily. You did that yourself.
She did. She did that
I
herself.
don't like to share my poetry very often, but sometimes
Well, it is
I
a
do.
gift to the world.
Yeah,
You
but-
should share it.
Well, right
So
now the
you-
world
you-
does not seem like it is that much of a gift.
So you guys are able then to to use between that net and just herding your way through the river and such. You are able to cross and you get across safely with the
And
zombies.
I'm downriver just in case, but none.
No, I mean that's between the effort that Johnny Appleseed made to find like the best location you could find to get across here at Gatling's zombie net. A couple of them do break free, a couple of them do get hit by the river and start to be swept by. But any of them that happens to, they immediately hit the net, and so they're very easy to retrieve.
Perfect.
And to get back into the herd.
All right. Then I will, as the herd finishes traversing the river, I will also climb out of the river and rejoin.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, you rats. Yeah.
You actually,
Yeah, yes.
I'm doing my best not to get wet.
Oh, you're gonna get wet.
And
But I'm doing my best not to, and I think that's what's
singing.
important.
So are you riding your horse with your legs up, kind of like
like
this?
trying to stand on it and balance as we're going across.
That's probably not gonna end
And
well.
I'm singing my best version of Get Along Little Zombies.
What does that sound like?
Get Along Little Zombies.
So you.
Please do not encourage Johnny to sing.
Why not?
It's not pleasant.
Oh, it's not very good.
Okay.
So Johnny has a big heart, though. He has a big heart.
Yes, he does.
So you manage to get across the river and you continue on your way, and you find yourself, that's kind of the big adventure that you have for the first day was really making your way across the river.
Yeah, I'm tired.
you've traveled. It's been a good day's hike, so to speak. Well, for you, it literally has been. And
Average day for me.
yeah, and you find you eventually find a good space, kind of make camp.
One hashtag Meta Meltdown and one hashtag System Shock to be used by the GM's discretion.
Oh boy.
Oh, there we go. The meta
Thank you.
meltdowns are gonna begin.
And
it's
we have
not masters
Yep,
without
yep,
a
yep, yep,
meltdown.
and we have 2 rules of cools.
And we have 2 rules of cools now.
Yep.
I'm loving it. Thank you, chat.
Thank you very much.
This is gonna be spectacular.
It said 1 meltdown and 1 system shot. Oh, it did get fixed. Okay, it showed up as 2 meltdowns, so I was confused.
Great.
No, that's ideal. So so on that first day, it's been relatively uneventful aside from crossing the river, and you make a camp. A little wise down the road.
I'm gonna start myself an apple pie for everybody. this Pennsylvania Dutch apple pie.
Okay.
One technician to another. The pods are getting quite warm. Is that a problem? Hashtag Med Meltdown.
Thank
Great.
you.
Thank
Great.
you.
Oh,
Thank you, Chad.
boy.
Jerky?
I would take some jerky. Thank you.
So while you're there, and we have unlocked a waffle.
Oh.
I'm pleased to hear that. Alien Knitter, if you would be so kind as to do the thing and select the person, and then that person sends you the info, and you send it to me and all the great stuff.
And
That made
things.
sense.
Awesome.
I know you know what I'm talking about.
Thank you, chat.
Thank you, chat. Thank you, AK.
Tyrone, how many miles we put in today?
Oh, it's one of those moments where your GM is trying to remember that table in the D&D book about how far you travel in a day.
Well, we spent most of it
About
crossing that
20.
river. So,
Except we lost some time on the river, so about 15 miles.
that's good for a river
I'm going to
day.
stand by that for a day. Sounds good. I had to do some mental math. Took me a little bit longer. I ever
why I
tell
have
you
you,
about the
Tyrone.
time that I was... Kidding. I'll stop right there.
We like stories, Tyrone. Come on.
It's true. Tyrone and Johnny Appleseed could just talk stories for a
Stories.
while.
Emily
Today.
is gonna make her own camp and go to sleep. She has fashioned earplugs out of cotton and she is now asleep
What does Cotton think
to
about that?
avoid story time.
Don't worry, the pods can handle the heat. Especially the one Fifi is working on. Hashtag
There it
MetaPoint.
is.
We got our first Fifi reference.
Yep.
There we go.
Yeah, that's forever.
Thank you.
I was
Chat.
going to
that
rename your
forever.
character today, Fifi,
Nope.
after last night. Then decided there was no need to, because if it was going to happen, chat would take care of it.
Chat would take care of that all by themselves.
Like, I don't need to do this. Let's just let it happen
They're
naturally.
very reliable.
I'm not going to find out until VOD, am I?
Right, correct.
Yeah.
No.
Well, it's Cora Fee.
I don't know.
just-
I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
Cade needed a nickname for her, so
Quarter Fifi.
It's my fault.
it's Sarah's fault.
Yeah, I blame
It is
you.
entirely Sarah's fault. Entirely.
It does lighten her up a little
So,
bit.
You'll see.
So that night as you guys make camp and you sit down,
We hear.
This is by far exactly as epic as I hoped it would be. Lots of work every week. Also, Jay, you are fantastic. Love your work with the apples. Hashtag MetaPoint.
Nice.
Thank you, chat.
thank
I
you
love
so
my
much,
apples too.
chat.
So Emily just kind of
Everybody
like
loves
clocks out.
Johnny that.
Oh, Emily realizes the boys are going to be telling stories and she's not really interested, so she's gonna go to sleep.
Okay.
Well, and your guys' main job here is, I mean, you're not, how do I put this? You can take night watch, but there's really no reason for you three. You three are there as the specialists. Your job is, if something does hit the fan, that you are then able to engage with that problem.
To deploy your skills.
But for just general minding the herd, general night watch, that sort of thing, it would frankly be a waste of your skills.
Being around a lot of people tends.
I just wanted to give you all affirmations. You are. Wait, something's wrong.
Uh-oh.
What is chubby? Get Fifi the intern now. Hashtag Med Meltdown.
Thank you.
Yep.
What is Chubby Bunny?
I see you.
Yep.
Oh, because it was the intern thing.
All these meltdowns.
So that night, I know I've got a bunch to play with right now. I'm excited. I don't think
he's
that one has shown up yet. Oh, it's because it's part of one. That's why. So that night,
Doo-doo-doo.
nothing happens.
Oh.
Yay, we get to rest.
You do. You sleep well, and you get up the next morning, and the herd gets itself all ready, and you're all set to head out to go about your day.
Yeah.
I break out my solar shower.
On the trail? That
you know,
seems
your
a little
solo
unnecessary.
shower?
You can just do that down at the river, you know. That's plenty of water down there. You just,
This water is piping hot.
who would want them hot?
You know you're just gonna get dirty again in like 10 minutes, right?
Yes, that's why I have a portable shower.
Seems
I
like a
appreciate the
waste.
workings of his brain. Let's carry on.
You wait. You're fine with him taking a shower, but when I take a bath down by the riverside, you always get upset. What's up with that?
You are.
I don't recommend actually using the shower yet. I haven't been able to get the water below boiling.
Oh, it's not my.
You are crooning at decibels that are
Oh,
unnecessary.
it's my singing.
Yes.
I thought you.
And the fact that you are just naked as the day you were born in the middle of an open river. I wish you would find some cover.
Where else would I be naked?
With some cover, like behind a bush.
He does have a point. They're not bushes and rivers.
I don't mind the
There's
fact that he
sometimes, like,
traipses
big
around
rocks.
naked. I just wish he would take the bowl off his head while he did it.
I don't understand that part either.
You're an interesting crew.
You never know when you're gonna need a bow.
You folks work together often?
Fairly.
Sometimes.
Jonathan and I have crossed paths more than once.
On occasion, yeah.
I know them both.
He does like my apple pie, though, so.
That
It's very good.
meta question.
What's the matter?
What's a meta question?
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, so yes, you guys had that little conversation there. And
So
such.
a traipsing we will go.
Mm-hmm.
Trudging.
And you continue along your way. When
I pick fresh flowers for the smell.
yeah, as you're going along, you know things are good. Things are good. One of the herdsmen rides up. I'm gonna assume for the moment that the four of you are together.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's convenient for me. And
Yeah, we like that.
one of the herdsmen comes up to you and says, "Excuse me, folks, but I just want to let you know things seem okay out there, but every once in a while I've been hearing singing."
Singing?
Singing.
What kind of singing?
Oh, little ditties.
Male
pointing
voice? Female voice?
I point at Johnny
Both.
Appleseed.
Both. Sometimes male, sometimes female.
Multiple voices? Or
Yep. At least 2, maybe 3 distinct voices. Hard to tell.
Is it the zombies?
No, it's not coming from there. It's been off in the distance. I've been riding off trying to see what I could pick up. You know, when I hear it, going off and checking, and I haven't seen anything yet.
I want to send a scout.
That sounds like an excellent idea. Can you tell what language they're singing in?
Oh, it's English. It's good old American.
Okay.
Emily, you feeling up to this task?
Oh, I would come with you.
No, I mean
Oh, you. I am the scout. I understand. Yes, I can go scout. I go scout.
Okay. Often about the way that he was talking about and such.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So you go around and
Do call if you need anything.
I have riding horses, and I have stealth as well, so I can ride a horse sneakily.
I'll allow it. Please give me a roll for each.
He didn't say the last half of that sentence was in exchange for naked time later.
No,
Emily
no,
does
I
not
would never.
provide such services.
I would never. What I want to say.
Use your ring of GM control.
Yes. Especially that way on my own wife. That would be.
Emily also does not provide.
Really, is the only non-disgusting way to do it, but
It's-
okay.
Riding horses, I beat by 1. I spent a meta point, by the way.
Nice, because you suck at that. You're okay at it, but I built the character. I know your skill level on it.
And the other stealth, I beat by brain 3.
Nice. Okay, actually, yeah, you are able to, relatively speaking, stealthily ride the horse. Having said that,
I put little covers on the hooves, so it's like.
That poor horse.
having said that,
'Cause I have
I mean,
extra
you're
stuff.
still on a horse, so
Yes.
it's not like you are a ninja at night in a city or some
I am a
environment.
ninja.
I can
sneaking
get some of those
through.
fancy split-toed shoes for your horse. I can make them ride up. They would.
That we did it. We did it. See that?
No, you did it much earlier, actually. The whole conversation around the bowler hat. That was the beginning. So yes, you are able to go off and you are able to go out and examine the areas and such that this guy was indicating. He came along with you to kind of make sure that you knew what he was talking about, and you see some tracks on the ground, but I don't believe you have wilderness tracking.
No, but I have urban tracking.
Nope.
Some sort of animal, as it were. You can tell that much. And this guy has no idea what it is.
All right, some sort of tracking.
Yeah, it's good sized, about like this. The foot seems to be long and narrow. That's about all you can tell.
All right. Can I hear any singing?
No, but you are in nanowasp communication with the rest of the party.
Could I send out? Do I have a few nanowasps left that I could send out to see if they could hear any singing?
You would have to take them away from everybody who is using them to communicate right now. So if you would like to sacrifice the party's ability to communicate, to do that, you could.
Can I tell them what I'm going to do, and then
You
send
can do whatever
mine?
you want in that regard. Of course, you can tell them.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to report what I see, and then I'm sending mine.
Okay.
before you do that, why don't you report what you see to see if there's anyone in the party who has wilderness tracking?
All right, party. I am
For
seeing
example,
this.
the druid.
Okay, party. I'm seeing this thing. I describe it.
Beat it by 4.
By 4?
Beat it by 4.
Wilderness
Okay.
survival and wilderness tracking are different, correct? Okay.
Yeah. You're able to kind of piece together from what she's describing.
I describe very well because I'm a student of science and I can describe
Your
well with words.
description is impeccable. Give me a mind check, please. With a 4-point bonus.
Footprints about the depth of a politician's greed.
Hurting this madness and zombies is no easy fix. Technology is a joke. My phone streams while my PC broke. Hex is about. My rhyming's up this bout. I wish you all luck.
Is that
And
prosperous
watch
guy?
out for a bunnies. PC suffering. Hashtag buffering.
Oh.
Thank you, Chad. So yeah, we'll be dropping a bunch of stuff in a moment.
You know, I rolled a 16 on D8s.
Yeah, and even with the 4 point, it's a 12, and you're smart, but you're not. You do a decent description. So the way she's described it sounds to you like an oversized rabbit.
Oh no!
I'll ask a few questions
I'll allow it.
just to see if she can give any better description, and then
That's
I'm
my
going to
favorite
say
thing you've ever said as a GM.
it sounds.
As much as I love affirmations, it feels like there isn't enough trolling today.
Oh, no.
Sorry. Hashtag foreshadow. Hashtag buffering. Please don't hate me.
At least you said sorry.
Thank you.
You're not
cool.
sorry though.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not
Hashtag sorry, not sorry.
Sounds to me like a big bunny rabbit.
I've never experienced a big bunny rabbit in the wild. In fact, I do not know of such a creature. I'm confused.
Do I know such a creature?
Wilderness survival. You
Yeah,
guys can
okay.
give me that.
Can I spend a meta point?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm learning the game. Okay. Do I get less than a 10? No, I don't.
No, you did. That was.
Oh, I did?
That's a 9. No,
Then
it's a
3.
9, not a 6. Wait, no, that's a 6. Is that a 6?
Oh, that's a 6. Oh,
I'm pretty sure it's a 6.
I got it by, so then I got it by 1, right?
I think so.
Yes. I succeed by 1.
I think it's a 6.
You succeed by
7.
7.
I rolled 3.
So Johnny and Maria start talking a little bit, just kind of running through lists of animals that you can think of that might fit this description. It takes you a little bit, but as you guys are bantering back and forth, it occurs to you that large rabbit-shaped footprint,
Jackalope.
The Conejo
mimicking the various mimicking human voices and singing, does imply jackalope.
Ah. Es a conejo malo.
I hate those things.
Yeah.
They're terrible.
Conejo is bunny.
Yeah, they
Malo means bad.
I cheated and tried to use context to figure it out. I'm like, I think I can figure this one. I know a little.
Italian, Cornelia.
And you guys, and you know that that jackalopes, they do travel in small groups, but they can be quite dangerous because of their
Because of the
size
antlers.
and their antlers. They have a wicked gore attack. Not to mention their kicking ability.
Hashtag fool rule. Might be more like fool's rule with chat deciding. We'll see.
Oh boy.
That's
Oh, I know.
3.
I know. I'm excited. I mean, we're doing the show and it's fun.
Let's go
Yes,
find
it's
some
great.
jackalopes.
Loving it.
What's really going to be great is that we're going to have to do rule of cool as each other.
It's very possible, and you'll have to do it as each other without having used these characters much
Before
yet.
ever.
Yay!
Okay,
Welcome
that's not
to the
gonna be
crazy.
fun.
So yes, that's pretty much what you're thinking right now.
That's
It's a
what I'm going to relay through
jackalope or
the
somewhere in the area.
through our little speaky thing.
Yep.
Dios.
And more than one, or several.
Several,
Perhaps
at least 2, maybe
A
3.
murder of jackalopes.
It's just a small pack of.
Is that what they call a group?
So after we've established this, I send mine and a
Cryptid
wasp.
of jackalope.
An Albuquerque of jackalopes.
Oh.
I send mine and a wasp out to do a radius sweep, and then to come back to me.
Give me.
You're gonna get attacked. Well, we can't talk to you.
Hello? Hello?
Sorry, I'm a ninja.
Let me look at your sheet for a second. I'll let you do it, but I got to figure what the heck to have you write on or roll on that.
Unarmed.
I don't even know what the. I
lightning
did not see
reflex?
that coming at all. Give me a police science forensics.
Police forensics. Love it. I beat it by 3.
Cool. You were able to determine that you do not find the jackalope, but based on what your friends have said, your colleagues have said about the situation, you can tell that they do seem to have moved on ahead of the herd.
Oh, all right.
Great.
I communicate that.
I hope we're
Once
not
you
in
get
a
that.
den. They are very aggressive about
How
their
big is a
territory.
full-size jackalope?
Slightly smaller than a human, maybe about 5 feet or so.
So not really big enough to ride.
No.
But
There are rare
with some of
examples.
Professor Gatling's Vita Growth Serum,
Let's not make the
we may be
jackalopes
able to
bigger.
domesticate these beasts and travel much further and faster.
I come back to the group.
Have
as-
you ever seen a jackalope attack a person before?
No, but I'm thinking about strapping an engine to one, so
Making
I
them
probably
big is
should
not
take a
gonna-
look at some point.
making
There
them
are
big
there
is
are
a bad
rumors
idea.
of gargantuan jackalope that get much larger,
Oh,
but
there's not rumors. I've seen one.
you know,
The
but
Diajacks.
typically they're considered. Typically, most reports they're around 5 feet tall or so,
You never want to hear one of these things
which is
scream.
human size. It's a small person, yeah, smaller of stature.
Saw one near
So
10
I've
feet
returned.
tall in the Wyoming
Yeah.
territory. Scary thing.
So you guys
Well-
just continue on.
Yeah, let's keep the herd
Cool.
tight. Peeless.
Sounds
Eyes open. That's what
Yeah.
peeless means.
Okay.
I know.
Do you speak Spanish?
It's on my character sheet.
Ah, que chévere.
And Latin and German.
Yes, I think you each have at least one additional language, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, or two.
Yeah, yeah,
I would have been upset to be a scientist that didn't speak Latin.
yes.
That-
Well,
yeah,
some of
that'd
that
be-
honestly was going to Wikipedia and reading about all of your characters.
Yeah.
It's like.
Like, you got all the languages, right?
Yeah. It's like, oh, so this person did this and this. Well, this is a language they probably spoke. And if not, screw it. So, yeah, so you guys, that night, you continue on. You make another good day. It's a better day's travel because, no river this time. So now you have made it closer to about 20 miles today. It was a hard slog, but you're still in a relatively flat area. You're anticipating the next day or so is when you're going to start getting into
The Sierra
some of the.
Mountains?
No, you've got a ways to go.
Oh.
You're probably going to start running into farming communities and vineyards.
Oh,
You've been on more open, plain isn't the right way to describe it, but kind of scrubbier
Farmland.
land.
yeah.
Not the greatest place to, grow things.
Hasn't changed.
I love that many of us have lived in that area before. Yes, so it's going to be dark again, nighttime,
All right.
and you guys are getting ready for some dinner.
I'm going to utilize my animal summoning.
Okay.
What?
Get some rodents, maybe some squirrels, maybe even some rabbits. Kind of get them in the area around the herd in case the jackalopes come in at all. We have any other dangers they can warn me about.
You do have.
The animals will
he
warn
does.
you?
He has an animal summoning ability.
Okay.
And they can warn
So
us.
is he
They can warn me.
is he calling in all the small creatures
Oh, yes.
around the desert area
Well, you
for
might,
us to
you
eat
might,
for
you
dinner?
might, well, I'll bring a couple of them extra for that. If
We're
we
gonna
need, but
eat
we-
them, and they're gonna warn
Okay,
I
so
us.
do
yeah,
that
so
out there?
so some rabbits actually do respond to your call, and you are able to get them to take up some warning positions roundabouts the herd and the campsite. And
I have
such.
plenty of dried fruits and nuts in my satchel. We do
This
not
isn't
need
for
to
food.
eat the bunnies.
This isn't for food. He's trying to set them up as a warning system.
I just wanted to make sure we weren't eating the bunnies.
My life had stood a loaded gun in corners till a day the owner passed, identified, and carried me away. Hashtag Janika buff, hashtag Jebediah buff, hashtag agent buff, hashtag Jackson buff.
Thank
Thank
yeah,
you.
up
We
there.
need to get into some combat so I can use
I
mine.
know.
I'm going to give you some
Let's
stuff.
do things.
Remember, your
We're
buffs
gonna
can
get
be
some
used
buffs
outside of
going.
combat because
I
they're all
know.
giving you bonuses to skills and such. Actually, Strix, I'm not sure if you knew yours.
Tell me.
Let me tell you. Yeah.
What's the
sorry.
deal?
Yours, what it does is it will give you. If you use your buff, you auto succeed on your next roll at 100%. But then you will take a 5-point penalty on your next roll.
Okay.
Or you can use it to put yourself anywhere you want on the spectrum.
So you can do one or the other.
Ah, got it.
And if you want, you can drop 2 or more in the same turn.
Okay.
So, so yes, that evening you are now sitting down for dinner again, when you hear this blood-curdling, horrific, ungodly scream
Oh God.
that can only be a bunny in terror
Yep.
coming from one of the flanks of the zombie herd.
I just jump up and
I was
draw
gonna
my
say,
gun.
we
And
jump
you
up
hear
and head
this,
that way.
and you hear the herd's
Quick as a
commotion
whip.
starts picking up, and they start grumbling and whatever else.
Let's give orders to the hands to
And a
like
couple of
keep
shouts from some of the watchmen who were off in that direction. a scream of pain from a human being.
From a human being.
Defensive positions.
I'm going to take a look out over the horizon and see if I can see anything using my Gatling goggles, which are just like binoculars, except that they're on a turny thing, so I can't really look at anything for very long before the lenses switch.
You make interesting things, Richard.
So they're like a multi-barreled set of
Everything I make is kind of multi-barreled, just based on it. Just happens. Like I can't do anything about it. All right.
Okay.
Tried to make a seed planter. I made the worst weapon.
The
in the
lighting
world.
is not great, but yeah, you can see there's serious commotion going off.
I'm gonna roll
about 150 yards off.
management admin to make sure that my hands are in the right position.
They are definitely responding the way that you want them
Okay,
to.
then I won't roll.
Yeah.
I won't roll.
I mean,
I
actually,
did it.
go ahead and give me the roll.
Well, darn it. Okay, I'm rolling my d10s now.
Yeah.
I definitely make it. 11. By 3? I make it
Yeah,
by
so
3.
they start going into exactly kind of what the plan would be. So the some of them, their responsibility then is to mind the herd, keep order.
Horses.
But some of the others are staying where they're supposed to because that's their job. Is in case something starts appearing from elsewhere.
We are,
because
though.
sometimes bandits attack from multiple directions.
Right.
But a couple of them start moving in that direction. But they also clearly are looking over at you guys, kind of like, that's why you're here, right?
Yep.
Right? You're coming.
We're heading.
Yep. And I'm getting my
making
case
sure I
out,
grab my
Mr.
bag. It's got all my apples and my
Awesome.
cider in it. And
All right,
shovel. Pick up my shovel.
Do we see anything? We've heard noises that are bad. Do we see anything?
Not until you start moving that direction.
We're moving that direction.
It is dark. It is darker, and you can see chaos over in that area. So you're all running in that
Do
direction.
I have
Oh yeah, take torches with
Do
you.
I have a torch? Can I throw it in the direction of the noises so I can
You
see?
could run with you can grab a torch out of the.
Throwing
Fire.
torches in the scrub is not a good idea.
And someone might
There's
have a
not that
different
much
kind of
to
torch.
burn.
Yep. There might be
that's
something
four or
I can do.
All right.
We'll do it.
Let there be light! Now, with Gatling's new Magna balls, they will illuminate up to 20 feet in every direction. Simply shake, toss, and see like it's daytime.
I'm calling that a major thing because of the time frame, but it's an awesome
Yeah,
thing.
it lasts about 10 minutes. It's just magnesium.
Yeah. So yeah, he's got basically a steampunk version of a sun rod. It's like
Glow stick.
glow
Yep,
stick.
glow
That's
stick.
what it is.
They're glow sticks.
The system is down.
Yeah.
The system.
So that'll be our next thing is we'll rave to the song. So you start hucking light sources in that direction. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Give me a roll. Give me some attack rolls because that's a ranged attack. A thrown
Yeah.
weapon.
Oh, wow. Do I have any ranged attack?
No, so you're gonna be at
No,
a 7.
I do not.
You'll be at a 7. If you want to run over there with it, that's one thing. But if you want to throw it, yeah.
Well, I'm just tossing them. So
Okay.
I'll stay tossing them. I'm fine
You
with
want
it.
to throw a couple out
I'm
there?
not trying to hit anybody.
You also have your bonus from Patreon.
I'm not going to spend it throwing glow balls.
All right. Just letting you know.
I think they deserve better than that. I got a total of 10. So
Total-
what, did I miss the ground?
You rolled a 10
10.
on a 7. No, I mean, it's basically you were trying to hit this spot. You didn't throw it dead
Wait,
on.
do I actually have no combat skill at all?
No, you've got some. You get an ACV of 7. What?
I meant combat skills. I said skills.
Yeah.
I used
No. But you've got what you have is something else. The way your character is built.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I just was like, I really don't have any.
Can't
Yeah.
find things now.
But so you start hucking those out, and you are able to not get bullseye where the light is, but the periphery of the light is you're lighting up out there, and yeah, you guys.
I missed the dark
As
with
you're-
my light bulb.
As yes, you missed the dark. You attacked the darkness. As you were going in that direction, you guys do, as the light balls start flying out and such, you do see 3 jackalope are attacking the herd. The herd is starting to get nervous and restless and backing away. And the rabbits that you had summoned, many of them have just fled.
That's the one.
Fled. That's how to conjugate that. And a couple of the herdsmen are trying right now to fire off shots at the jackalope and stop this.
Maria is going to silently meld into
Well,
the
actually, what we need to do,
Yeah.
it just occurred to me, is I need you to roll initiative,
Yeah.
please. So give me
Always
2d12,
2d12s.
add your ACV, any other bonus you have.
I had
Where
it.
is
You have
the
lightning
ACV?
reflexes, it's a plus
Here.
5 if that's what you're going to ask.
Do we
Sarah.
want to roll high or low on this?
High.
High.
Okay.
The
So
only
one time you went high as initiative.
And then you said I had another.
Lightning reflexes plus 5 to your initiative.
27.
27?
Hold on.
Hashtag attack. Chris, check your Twitch whisper for my plan.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
Oh no. He's like,
There's
okay.
plans.
There's plans.
I don't know how I feel
Hack
about
means
plans.
they get to do anything. It was like,
Uh-oh.
oh, that's not good for us.
That's almost Tyler level.
Chris
laughing.
thinks it's funny. It could be an episode of Friends for old.
It's a funny show.
Okay, bud.
No, it wasn't.
But so,
was the waspiest wasp before they wasps.
you know what? That's okay. Not every show has to target every demographic. Anyway, have this conversation later. That was an awesome hack attack. Thank you for that.
Are you going to share with us?
No,
what?
I'm not actually. Specifically because of what I was asked to do, I'm not going to. So 27 for Maria. Who else?
26.
29.
Oh, right. This is.
9 for.
So it's just.
Yep.
Add that to that.
22.
22.
22. 22 for Gatling. Okay. 15.
Are we rule of cooling this one?
We're about to do several things.
Okay.
Of course.
So we got to drop a couple things here. Oh, you also have unlocked a boost. So you now have the expanded version of that power related to your prior avatar.
Dang.
So you've got a Titan Punch, you've got a Geyser attack, or anything else to do with the Geyser. You've got a Swarm thing, and you've got Fluffer Nutter.
Yes, of course.
So, yes.
So many choices.
I know. I'm so excited.
So the first thing we're going to do is drop a Meta Meltdown.
Oh god.
Yeah!
What does that mean?
In this case, it's going to mean I didn't give you another set of characters.
Oh, the second one? No.
Yeah, I forgot to print them out even.
We
So
we'll just
I'm just
switch.
going to have you pass.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
fine.
I'll have them fixed for next time.
Okay.
But they are each going to go 3 in that direction. Which,
So one in that direction.
One in that direction. So Maria is going to go over exactly. So we've got that Meta Meltdown that has
Okay.
dropped. We've got a System Shock that is dropping. Per that System Shock,
Oh, God. I
That's
need to be able to
me.
keep track
Oh,
of
that's
this.
you.
you were each placed randomly on the spectrum.
Oh, that's very exciting.
So Crash, you are now all the way Avatar. Or no, I'm sorry, that's not the right. Yes, you are all the way Avatar.
All the way Avatar?
Yes. Jebediah, you are back to the middle. Sorry. Jenica, you're all the way Jenica. And you are back to the middle.
Okay.
For the agent. So those two are going to drop. And we also will drop a rule of cool, which means I need you to each tell me what you would like to do.
How close
this
are we
turn.
to these Jackalope?
The Jackalope, you are whatever is going to be most strategically best for you for making this decision.
I have no idea what's happening.
I know. Welcome to the abyss.
Wow.
Okay, I know what I would do.
Okay, what would you like to do?
Do I need to tell you what I'd be spending as well? Or just what I'm going
Just
to
what
do?
you like to do.
Okay. Maria Valdez de Villa is also a were owl. So I am going to were owl, and alternative form bite does 22 damage, and she's going to grapple with a jackalope while she's biting and clawing the
As
heck
soon
out of
as
it.
you switch, okay, so Maria has the ability to wear owl out, transform.
See this?
One of her deep circuits you did
And-
not know about, but now you do, Chad. Is that
And I'm
she
going to be
is-
big. It's a big owl too. It's like
It
person-sized
is a
owl. So
it's a
it's freaky.
human-sized owl, but in addition, when she does that transition, she gains at least 1 attack.
Yeah, I'm grappling. It says grappling plus
Yeah, no,
ongoing
ac-
damage.
But you have 2 attacks. Is what happens.
Yeah.
She gains 2
I
attacks.
bite, I claw, I grapple.
So were owl, bite, claw, grapple. That's what you want to do to one
Yeah,
of the
and I'm going to
jackalopes.
screech with loud piercing noises just to piss all of the other
Awesome.
jackalopes
What is
off.
someone would like to do? That's a tough opening bid there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Yep, yep,
Stole my thunder, man. That's exactly what I was gonna do. Oh God,
This is hard because everybody just.
I know
lost
you
the
just
thing.
got it, but you can do it. I have faith in you. I have faith in you.
Edison railgun prototype.
Yes, although that would be on his pack. What you have immediate access to right now is his shotgun.
Okay.
His shotgun.
That's not very interesting though.
It isn't, but it's really effective.
It's a Gatling shotgun.
It's a Gatling shotgun.
Oh, okay.
Basically, he has the option of firing it off one at a time for 3 rounds, or he can fire a 3-round burst and then have to spend the next round reloading.
3-round burst, Joe. Just
Yeah, it's a pretty insane gun, actually.
It's
I really
gross,
like
yeah.
it.
I saw it, I was
pretty
like,
cool.
ooh.
But I
That's
do it
nasty.
really cool.
Yes, so
So I'm
Gatling
just
is.
like, whatcha?
So it would be a 3-round. So it would be
I'm
this.
the professor,
yes,
bitches.
the Gatling shotgun.
Yeah.
I like it. So we've
You
got
need to
two openings. What would we like to see from? Pardon me. From Crash and from Jebediah. What are your bids here?
Miss, looking at this, Miss Emily is going to charge right into the midst of these 2 jackalopes.
Yep.
Slide on her knees, like she's dodging them, but then she's gonna whip out with 2 of her throwing blades and get each one of them in the throat.
Also, Emily has several attacks that you can use.
Yeah, you've got with
2 attacks.
with Emily. I think she has 2 attacks she can do.
Yep, that's why I'm
So yeah,
doing
so the
2.
I like it. And what are we gonna see from Crash?
Well,
I'm I'm referring to your pilots because you're all different avatars right now. So it makes my
that
life
is
easier.
true. That is true.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do over here is that I've noticed that jackalopes are very much just like regular rabbits. That's true. I mean, they're
Aside from the
rodents.
size and the antlers, yeah, the same
I
darn
mean,
thing.
they're just giant.
And the ability to like mimic people and
And
drink whiskey and
they love songs.
yes.
So, in an attempt to assuage these creatures, I'm going to sing them a song to hopefully lull them to sleep using my animal control abilities.
I like it.
Also, I'll feed them both an apple.
I like it. I like it.
That's what I was thinking about doing.
So those are the 4 options we have there in chat. We have, and if you can set up the vote, that would be awesome. But just to make sure you guys hear, so from Crash Jackson, Mr. Christian Doyle, we would have a song intended to mollify the jackalope and to functionally it's going to reduce their effectiveness in combat, as well as feeding them apples to distract them from the other targets. From Jebediah, we have Emily Dickinson diving into combat, doing some wicked ninjutsu spin kicks, and then flipping out a couple of throwing knives into the throats of the various jackalope. I think that is the plural. From Jenica, we have the were-owling out of this avatar so that she can screech forward and start
Screech super high pitch to annoy everyone
Yep.
while biting, clawing,
while
and
biting,
grappling.
clawing, and just go full-on were-owl.
Like a spider monkey.
Like a
would.
spider monkey. And
flying.
But flying.
and then from the agent we have that you were going to do the Gatling shotgun in a very wicked way and do a 3-round burst into the chest of the nearest jackalope.
Yeah.
So those are your things. Votes are almost recorded, so we're gonna shut down the poll in just a second. I'll let you know who's going first. Well, I know who's going first. It's gonna be Emily. Who's gonna go first.
It's not my initiative, it's
I
Emily's.
base it on the character because I
Aha.
always wind up writing that down here, and it makes it easier for me to track it.
All right. Tell me when it's my turn.
Yeah.
No
Hey,
idea.
this game is just crazy. It's insane, but it's fun. Winner.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Winner is Crash.
Wow.
Seriously, your apple attack.
Now you have to sing a
Okay.
song.
That is going to be
So
the
I
winner.
get to lull them into a
You
sense
are going
of
to
false security.
You are going to auto succeed
I'm gonna make friends with these rabbit lopes.
when we get to Johnny Appleseed. But first, Emily is going to go.
Right.
And Emily, you are at a 5-point penalty because of the hack attack.
I thought it was
That was
3.
3 points.
That is
Oh,
what you
yours,
said.
your buff was they're similar. You're right. It's 3 points. I'm sorry. Thank you for reminding me. Thank you for reminding me. I was wrong. Mea culpa, mea culpa, mea culpa. You got Latin, so you knew what I meant. Yeah.
One point.
That was
just
the
to give this
professor
a
now.
chance.
I only speak rodent.
And I got 2 attacks.
Yes, and you all have buffs too.
You also have lots of good buffs.
And
stuff.
AK, if you get a moment, I know you've had a few things you've had to do, but it's just odd to me that the player buffs are not all even right now, and I'm wondering if something went
Funny.
sideways. It might be that just that's what they look like, is 2 for Jackson and 3 for the others, but just in case, if there's any way to double check. So I'm sorry. Go ahead. So you told me you were going
So
to ninja in.
I will actually do that. No, I do this because
So
I
one
can
meta point.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I won't do that. So I'll just roll for the 2 attacks.
Okay. Okay.
And the knives is a 15. I beat that one by 3. Beat the second one by the same thing, 3.
Okay. And you were attacking 2 different jackalope, of which there are 3, just so you all know.
Yes.
So if you beat those attacks by 3 using your throw-in stars, so that's to be 17 points of damage to each one of those jackalope, as they each take a throwing star in the general neckish area, and did not appreciate that in the slightest. That is going to impact their ability to mimic human beings going forward, just so you know, if they survive this encounter.
Good.
And actually, I guess I
We
should
want
have
to
made
stop that creepiness.
I should have actually made a defensive check for each one. I apologize. That's a fail.
Wily Jackalope.
They both failed. So yeah, so you managed to go and
Barely
put a
hit.
star in each one, even with that penalty. Nice job. So next up is going to be Maria. So we're
Excellent.
gonna go full were owl.
Yes, but I'm going to spend 2 Jenica buffs. 1 to have a minus penalty 3 to 3 targets, and happily there are 3 jackalopes. Then
Nicely
I'm
done.
going to spend the other one to move all the way the heck over here, so I can actually be an owl.
Okay, so 2 Jenica buffs go out. So Jenica reduces the effectiveness of each one of the jackalope for this round. Well played.
By
They're taking
3.
some major penalties.
Yes.
It's also gonna hurt them on defense, so that
Yes,
stinks.
that is the plan. So
Like
yes,
they
so
lost their
now
starting
where owl,
linebacker or something.
grapple, bite, claw,
Screech.
screech.
Grapple, bite, claw, screech?
Bite, claw, screech. Oh, wait, sorry. Okay, how many rolls do you require?
Well, since you're doing a claw and a bite, I need 1 claw roll and 1 bite roll.
Claw roll 7, with the penalty would be a 10, and I have to do 11. So I beat it by
So
1.
we beat it by 1, so you'll do half damage, but that will still be a really good solid hit on that for about 24 points of damage.
And then the bite,
Mm-hmm.
8 plus the 3, I beat it right on.
Right on. So again, not as... It's the same jackalope you're attacking twice?
I'm on 1.
Okay. That jackalope looks really worse for wear right now. And because you're grappling it, you're going to keep doing ongoing...
22 damage around.
Yep, you're going to keep doing ongoing damage to that as well, as long as you are grappling it.
Yes.
But you are now at a penalty to your defensive checks,
defensive
as
checks.
long as you are grappling.
Yes. Correct. And that was the scream I did.
I recognize that as the call of the wild were owl. So that was well played. So then next up are the jackalope. So the one that's on you is going to try to defend
I'm on
itself.
it.
The one that you are on, I'm sorry. Since you are biting it and clawing it and doing all of this,
Yes.
it can't really gore you with its
No.
antlers because of the way that you two are situated. But it can try to use its powerful leg kicks to get up. I can't make my legs do this, but to bring its legs up and try to kick out against you like this.
Ow.
So it's going to take a shot at you like that and see if it can break
Keep in
free.
mind, I'm an owl. So what is it kicking?
No. Who is it kicking?
Oh man, really?
It's kicking me, obviously.
Yes, yes.
But I'm an owl, so like it's not like my legs are.
You're a were owl.
We're really going to... You want to take some time to discuss
The anatomy
the
of the
physics
owl.
and anatomy
Yes.
of the were owl, the jackalope, how exactly any of
Yes.
this as GM says it's possible?
Oh.
Come on, lady. I love you, but come on.
I'm just saying, there's not a lot of places to kick.
It's true. It's true. However, even with the penalty that it just did, it actually did manage to land this solid kick.
All right, so I can try to
But
defend.
you're still, yeah, go ahead and give me a defense roll, please.
My DCV is 5, I believe.
It's effectively
Nothing.
you have a 4-point penalty because you're grappled.
So I need to get 1s.
Yes. You actually, if you're penalty, if
I
you're...
did not get 1s.
Okay. So you will take 15 points of damage.
All right, and that's damage to
That's 15 points of damage to Maria.
Maria.
Yes.
Okay.
Who actually right now has armor because she's in were owl form, which will reduce that by 20, so she takes no damage.
Yeah. Badass Maria.
But it will also push you off
Okay.
because of the knockback effect, which is specific to the jackalope,
And
and will give Maria a 3-point penalty to her next turn.
okay.
I'm saying that specifically because you won't beat
I
Maria
won't be Maria
the next turn.
Okay. I'll
So-
I'll just
Yeah, write it down.
3
Yeah.
point penalty.
But it was a great shot. The were-owl, flapped up once, started hacking apart this jackalope. It defends itself the only way it can by kicking away.
Yes.
So that brings us to one of the other jackalope, who, since you attacked, will go after Emily.
Hashtag Metapoint. This show is kitten and I wish I could puppy owl people to watch it. It would certainly gingerly or joyful any negative emotions. It could be a weekly affirmation for the world.
Thanks, Max. This show is Titanic, and I wish I could assign all people to watch it. I would certainly assuage. Is it assuage?
Sure.
Or muffle. That's right, because that's another one you can't use. Muffle any negative emotions. It would be a weekly affirmation for the world.
Aww.
Yeah.
So that other jackalope is going to try and gore you.
Good luck. Emily's super ninja.
And just to be clear, I only used 2 Jenica buffs. I should still have 1.
I only dropped you 2.
It was at 3.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sometimes the touch screen goes. Thank you for telling me. So the first attack with the gore missed you, but it tries again and would succeed. So if you give me a defensive check, please.
And I've got a really good defense against
You
melee.
do, because you're Emily right now, and melee attacks against you.
Oh, I passed that
well.
by half.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. And then the third jackalope needs to choose someone to go off on.
Not the professor.
Not the professor.
And the third one is actually going to go. What the die said? It's going to go after Maria as well as she gets kicked across. Happens to land right in front of this jackalope, who will take a stabbing attempt to gore her as well.
I still have to get 1s, right?
And so if you could give me a roll. Oh, that's right. So you're
So
not
I
gonna.
still have to get 1s?
Well, you're plus. It's an even higher penalty now because of.
But don't I auto-succeed if I get 1s?
Yes.
Yes.
So I have to get 1s.
Yes.
You can do it.
I did not get 1s.
Okay. So that will
can't
be
do it.
20 points of damage, but you have the armor, so no damage.
Does the armor take damage?
No, it's
No.
just you have to get through that to do it. She's got
Excellent.
tougher skin because of being the were-owl.
Of course.
So functionally 20 points, but
But nothing.
And then 5 damage ongoing until medical treatment, but
Armor.
armor. So,
Nice.
and it will attack you again. This time doing a kick
I will
because you
try.
didn't seem to give a damn about that gore attack.
Nope.
I did not get double
Okay,
ones.
so it will kick you. It won't matter, but it will kick you again. So Maria's been. So Maria is the were-owl. First she not vamped out, owled out, flaps up, does this mighty attack and plunging, claws of doom
Yes,
onto
becomes a
this
bunny pinball.
jackalope.
Yeah, but-
Exactly. Rips up this first jackalope, almost dropping it actually, gets kicked off the jackalope. As soon as she lands, staggers back up,
Yeah,
all set.
like that.
The second jackalope kicks her again and punts her further. So Maria will have a -6 to her next roll
Great.
from the cumulative of those two.
Bunny. That was a bunny war cry.
It was.
And
just hooting.
those are the jackalope, which means next up is Johnny Appleseed, who is going to auto succeed
Oh,
Yes.
on his.
So yeah,
his
I gotta
rolling.
get between them. Like Riddick and Pitch Black.
Yep.
Do one of these with the jackalope. I begin humming slowly as I sway very gently, very gently.
Is it worth it just to see your faces? Like
just-
really?
And with the jackalope tune in my heart, I'm just like,
I thought you were going to share the jackalope tomb with us.
oh, is that part of this? Okay,
Oh,
I
yeah.
can do that. Auto succeed my ass.
Oh, you succeed.
you work for
You
it.
succeed. But the people must be entertained.
Right. Okay,
I'm
so
so
Johnny,
glad this is on him.
Johnny Appleseed is like, hey, Mr. Jackalope, furry and sweet, would you like something nutritious to eat? Sorry, these zombies smell so much like crap. Here, have an apple, lie down for a nap. Appleseed!
And
Or something like that.
and somehow, because it functions as a 150% success. It's a critical success. You just critted this puppy.
Appleseed.
You are able to cast your druidic magic, and 2 of the jackalope take you up on your offer, and they just start. They're like,
Which 2?
They start hopping in your direction.
You know, I think I will have an apple and take an
Yeah,
apple.
it goes down and just starts
Sounds like a lovely idea.
eating the apples that you have proffered.
Yeah.
And the damnedest thing, as soon as they each have eaten those 2 apples, they each just kind of curl up and take this very adorable jackalope nap
Will a prince come wake them?
in the middle of this combat situation.
Yeah.
I can't explain it. It's just what they did.
So
It's the
does that mean
power
I can
of the
coup de grace
apple
one of
thief.
them?
It means that you could coup de grace one, or there's still one that's standing.
Is it the one that I injured?
The one that is still up, if I get a 1 or a 2, it's the one that is that
Injured.
you hurt.
That I
is
hurt.
the one that's still up.
Okay.
It is not. So this is one of the other 2. Odds evens. This is the untouched one.
Oh, of course it is.
It could be touched right now. Because that's right, because we got to go with what you said. So if I could please get
Oh, 'cause
a
it's gonna
full
get super
auto
touched.
fire from Richard
Okay,
Gatling.
what am I rolling here?
You're
So
you're
you're
right now
gonna
you're rolling
roll-
12, so you don't want that crap.
Okay.
Move.
I'm
Yes.
gonna
Like,
move.
you can either use one of your buffs to move all the way over, or you can use a couple meta points.
I will use a buff to move all the way over.
Okay, so we're going to drop one of those buffs.
Yep. And then I'm gonna roll a what?
You're going to roll 2d8,
Okay.
and you are aiming for a
Okay.
roll. You want
No,
to get.
railgun.
Oh, real.
No, you need to do shotgun right now.
Shotgun.
Is what
Oh,
you need.
that's the
Shotgun.
Yeah, but you need 1 roll, and you want to be below a 10, and you also still have your Patreon buff you can drop if
Yeah,
you don't
so
like
if you
the
don't,
result.
if you don't like it, then Patreon buff it.
Got it.
Okay.
I'm fine.
Yep.
I beat it by 1.
So here's what happens.
Bunny
then.
explosion.
Yes. So
For a nap. Oh,
Exactly.
they're so sweet. They just
Oh, that's exactly what happens. Is the 3 jackalope were all set to light up everybody. Johnny Appleseed pulls out a pair of apples from God knows where, sings this adorable lullaby. 2 of the jackalope happily are compelled by him and come forward, and their noses are wriggling, and they think this is wonderful, and they come down, and they aren't squirrels, I can't do this thing, but they start eating the apple, and they're done, and they just curl up for a nap, and all of that happens in a miraculously short amount of time. The 3rd one, who stubbornly refused to give a damn about the song,
Probably should
looks
have
back
listened.
at looks back over at
not
Johnny and
shish
rears
kebab.
back up, ready to launch an attack. And then Richard Gatling just walks over nonchalantly, pulls up his shotgun, goes like this, fires off a 3-round burst from his enhanced shotgun, and it's just jackalope pudding. I mean, everywhere. This thing, based on
And
its hit points and the damage that gun does,
It does
is
not-
just riddled to pieces. from
Oddly,
these
it does
3
not smell
shots.
worse than the herd already did. So, thanks.
But tomorrow.
But tomorrow it will. No, I don't. I still don't think it will be worse than the
Well, we
herd.
know what we're having for dinner.
Oh, jackalope pudding.
Jackalope pudding.
We have something to cook it in too, aren't we, lucky duckies? I'll allow it if we allow apples to be
gosh.
served with it.
That is
Now
insane.
you see why I have the pop.
So we switch back, yes?
Yeah, you switch back for now.
Oh boy.
You switch back for now.
Pull your hair in my hat.
So I didn't actually get hurt, even though I got kind of trounced.
Yes, your
Because
armor
you were in werewolf
provided a
form,
lot of
part of her build is that when she goes into that form, she gains tougher skin,
Good, then I can
basically,
try to continue
thick
to keep it
feathers,
secret.
you know, that sort of thing. And so that gives her 20 points of armor functionally. So any attack that is
That's
20
less
or
than-
less doesn't hurt her at all.
All right.
which is delightful.
Yeah, it actually worked out really well the way you guys did that. It was
Obviously.
We are
very-
strategic geniuses.
Yeah, yeah. It's not uncommon to run into jackalope in these parts, so I mean it's not something to be overly concerned about, but it is an indication that you'll probably want to be vigilant as you go on, as you were.
I could take Century and write a poem about the death of the jackalopes.
That sounds great, Emily. Thank you for that.
I'm
So-
gonna say a few words over the dead pile of rabbit
The
pudding.
werewolf flies off into the distance because it's totally not related to anything that we're doing here. And then Maria will
Eventually come back.
Eventually come back from a different.
I like
area.
that. I like that. What'd I miss?
I was too busy
Superman was
organizing
here.
hands. Good job.
We did what you were paying us to do.
Yes. What do I want to say? Although these three will be loosely aware that it was her because of the pilot connection thing. They'll be
Possibly.
able to, yeah.
But the hands
I mean,
won't know.
we're all in like
Yeah.
Avatar territory right now, so
Yes.
good.
So, I was gonna say, Drat. I forget.
Jackalopes attacked. 2 are asleep.
Oh, that's
Pudding.
what it was. You did lose 3 zombies to the jackalope.
When did they have time to eat them?
They didn't eat them, but they ripped them up to pieces.
Did we also lose a hand? Because I heard an actual person scream.
One guy did get injured. He got gored a bit. But
Johnny.
they are able to treat him.
Oh, I'm gonna. I'll give him some.
Give him some
magic apple.
Magical, yeah, some. Would you like an
Is that like
apple?
code?
Maybe
for-
I could go sell him one of
No.
my fantabulous Richard Gatling self-surgery kits.
Self-surgery does not sound pleasant.
It's not pleasant, it's still surgery, but it's self-surgery. No longer do you have to pay exorbitant prices just to go get yourself a doctor. No, sir. With the... We can talk about this
Mr.
tomorrow. if
Mr.
anyone
One of my
Yeah.
wants.
favorite things this episode has been writing down all of the things that you have endowed Richard Gatling as having created, so that we can refer to this list later on and see how it gets used.
Well,
Oh.
now that we are all awake, welcome to the trail.
That's pleasant.
I'm very saddened by what happened to
But
that
yeah,
jackalope.
the one guy who got injured, Kurt, he's okay. Curtis, he can still ride, but he's going to be taking a lower. He'll ride and kind of mind the herd, but he's not really up to being used for sentry type duty right now. He's going to
So
need some
you prefer
recovery.
to be a low rider.
I understand that.
So,
Compulsion.
All right, well, that could have been worse.
All right, so what happens next?
So we go back to
the
our night
next
watch.
day. The next day, you mount up and you start heading out again.
All right.
And you're making your way on the trail
With some rabbit
as it
jerky.
were.
Lots of rabbit jerky.
And of course some cinnamon apple oatmeal for breakfast.
I'll eat that.
I do some great
You're gonna need
apple
your protein.
cinnamon.
Arislyn, if I start giggling, it's because I looked back at your whisper, and that's just, yeah.
Is this the hack attack that we don't know anything about yet?
It's the hack attack, yeah. It's just a matter of,
It's just a matter of time.
I'm specifically supposed to wait for something, and so I just have to,
Oh no.
Oh gosh.
it is what it is.
What did you do
It's
next?
just hanging there like the sword of Damocles, just waiting to drop.
Chat, this is the best troll ever. Because it's the not knowing. It's something, but we don't know what.
Yes, we're not gonna say it, but we're terrified.
So you can continue on then. You're getting far enough along in your journey now that you're starting to approach farmland.
Oh,
And such in the vineyards. Early vineyards, not like today's, but I mean, there's still
They don't make great
beginnings
wine
of-
yet, but it's
They're trying.
they're young
beginning.
in their lives.
Yes, they're they're literally planting the seeds for what will someday be wonderful wineries.
And that's important.
Well,
Plant
you folks
seed.
need to be on your toes. Farmers around here don't necessarily like the zombie trade.
That's fair.
They may not take kindly to our
'Cause
intrusion, though they do not own all this land, so we do have a right to travel through
I
here.
wonder if the stench and composition of the zombies affects the wine.
Ew.
It's not really a pleasant thought.
Well, if anything, it would be good for it, right?
No, I don't think the putrefaction of the zombies would be very good for the wine.
So it would be pretty good fertilizer.
But wine is just putrefied grapes.
No, that's absolutely not true. It's just fermented grapes, which is different than
Well,
putrefaction.
zombies are just fermented people.
That's a strange way to look at the world, but you know what? I look at the world in a strange way too, so I'll carry on.
I really want that to be a clip or something right now. Zombies are just fermented people.
Very good year.
Makes me miss
Come
Maggie.
here, these zombies.
What?
That makes me miss Maggie.
Because of the fermented people.
I want you to know I hid him for you.
Maggie is not a fermented person.
Mostly.
Oh, is she the mummy?
No,
that's
that
what
was
I said.
how do I put this? Maggie is well versed in knowing how to hold her liquor. When
Wine,
we go out.
specifically.
Her wine in particular. So that was the reference. Boy,
It's
that
fun
was,
to drink.
That was actually awesome. So you guys continue
she's
on,
gonna
and you're
troll us,
moving
thanks.
through farmland and all this stuff. And yeah, exactly. The locals they're not looking friendly. I mean, no one is deliberately
Aggressive.
aggressive.
We're not gonna get
No
invited
one
to
is
dinner.
coming towards you and saying anything.
That's all right. I don't wanna
But
go to
the
dinner.
body language is screaming, "Stay on the accepted path for the route that you are taking, and do not vary from it."
I empathize with the farmers, and I understand what they're
Otherwise,
going
we
for.
might have to go into a self-defense zombie stampede.
Something like that. Well, and as you're going along, you're starting to get into as you're moving through, the farmland was okay, but as you start getting through the vineyards and such, you start noticing the herd getting a little antsy.
The wine, maybe the smell of the wine.
Wilderness survival.
I thought the smell was going to go one direction, but it is different.
I don't. Wilderness survive.
I will accept wilderness survival or anything related to animal husbandry or control and such like that.
Nope.
So boating then?
Yeah, why do you have boating on your sheet?
No idea.
Somebody should always have boating. I decided that was
Made it right on 13.
right on 13.
Right on 13.
So Johnny starts. He's thinking to himself. He has this, and you're continuing your way through down the path, and yeah, the herd's starting to get a little bit anxious and such. And Johnny starts getting this. You're racking your brain. You're still chattering away as Johnny does, but in the back of your head, you're just kind of thinking to yourself, I could have sworn. Let's see if I can do it. I could have sworn that there was something about zombies. Something they eat.
Brains.
Something
Tannins?
synthetic.
Oh no,
Oh,
this
right.
all bad.
And right as that thought, as you're saying this and whatnot, a couple of the zombies just lurch away from the pack, from the herd, and start moving towards what is basically an early winery press.
Yeah.
We need
Because as you may recall at the beginning when the
Yeah, you
question
said
came up of
that.
what they ate, I mentioned that the pomace, the grape, the leftover stuff from vine making is a key component of the material that is used to keep them docile.
And I just
they've
thought you were
gotten
So
saying
we
Well, that's
wandered,
really
we
technical.
wandered right through a food court at the local mall.
Just wandered through a food court for zombies, and so the herd has now broken and is lurching in that direction. And I need initiative checks from
What were
everyone.
we thinking? It's like bringing a bunch of little kids into the food court.
14, and it's plus the ACV?
Yes.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. 21.
21.
Blackjack.
Yes.
27.
Want to sew?
23.
23.
31.
There you go.
Just lightning quick, Emily Dickinson.
I'm always ready for it.
Miss Emily.
Shockingly enough, the zombies will be going last.
They're so slow.
So they're lurching off in that direction, and the locals who are over in that area, you start hearing shouts of alarm from their personhood.
Well, sure.
There's about 7 or 8 folk who were working on some wine presses and such, and they're pointing and shouting and clearly concerned at the zombies who are now starting to climb over and break through fences and move in that direction.
Great, we
Bother.
got around him.
Okay.
I mean, we just got to get our ropes and we got around him. Okay.
With ropes?
Yes, ropes.
I think this is a
You know how to lasso?
workable.
You're gonna learn.
Where is...
Yeah, I'd use a different method myself.
Wait, did we unlock a second golden waffle?
Where is...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yay!
I didn't know that. Cool. Very
Thank you,
cool.
chat.
The
Thank you,
math
Jen.
adds up on the screen.
Are we doing dropping more things before we get into it?
Uh,
Since we have more rules of cools and all
you know
the
what?
things?
We should do some stuff. Yes. We really should.
I mean, I don't really.
No, it's true.
want to.
Let's use one up first.
I would love
let's
to
do,
fight with Emily Dickinson,
got
but
Two
I'm
more
never
metal
gonna get a
melt.
chance to
metal
fight as my
melt-
actual character.
no, I don't think I.
I don't honestly. I apologize. I failed to notice, and this is my fault, chat. I failed to notice if foreshadowing or buffering
yeah.
was deliberately dropped on anyone in particular. So I'm just going to do it randomly, and I promise you, in the future, I will be more mindful of anyone getting tagged on those.
I don't remember
So-
anybody being tagged on it.
I don't either,
came
but
through
that
on
doesn't
voice
mean
bot.
that I'm not just failing in my job. So.
Fair point.
We're gonna do several things all at once here. First, we're gonna drop a meta meltdown,
Yay!
and for the meta meltdown,
None of us are going to get to play
I'm
our
not
own
gonna
characters
get
at
to
any
at
point
all.
during combat, ever.
it'll happen event maybe not.
Event-
But it's going to be a
Probably
surprise, like, hey, what's on this sheet? Oh, wait, this is
All
mine.
right, this is mine.
I got the random exchange, so
Here.
we'll start over here.
Yep.
Well, I was just gonna roll it out.
I know.
She's just gonna take all the
Oh, I
turns
see what
then.
you're doing. Thank you. I will have the extra ones next week. Who you got there first? Who's on top?
Who's on first?
Emily Dickinson is going to be played right over here.
Yeah.
Who you got next?
Maria.
Maria is going to be Mr. Christian Doyle.
Richard.
Is going to be played by Kelly, and that leaves you with Johnny Appleseed.
You probably want. Well, you got more hair than I do.
This is awesome.
Yeah, I'm good actually. The bun kind of makes it.
These aren't
I've
prescription,
got
right?
guns I can't fucking shoot.
They're not. You're terrible.
No, but the guns can be
It's more
shot
for
well.
Jenica than
Yeah,
for
by
us.
other
Oh,
people.
it's
No,
making
by
my eyes
you.
water.
Oh, really?
The guns themselves have boosts to make them easier to use for you.
I did not
It's
see
in
that.
it's in the yeah.
Right here.
They've got accuracy and stuff.
Holy crap!
That's your skill at
All right.
that railgun. That's the skill at
All right,
shotgun.
who are we
That's
being
not bad at
attacked by?
Yeah, and like the shot. I mean, whatever. I'll just tell you right now. I mean, like the shotgun is not as accurate as the railgun.
But you get 3 chances.
But it also fires off this 3-round burst, so you've got an amazing shot where you can just light
who's
somebody
attacking
up
us, by
in
the
one
way?
round.
I forget.
Nobody's attacking you. The herd is broken free.
Oh,
it's
that's
going
right.
loose.
Okay.
And then you've just something went wrong in the metapods, and you just found yourself shattered from one reality or one identity to
Right.
another, which isn't helpful at all to you
No.
right now. And then you find yourself looking at your sheets. And while you're doing that, you're going to find yourself getting hit by a rule of cool.
Of course
So
we are.
now
Of
you've got to
course we
figure
are.
out what you want to do with this new identity. And while you're figuring that out, I'm going to figure out who to drop foreshadowing and buffering on, just to give you more crap to deal with. And I apologize.
Really cool, and it's very
Ish.
extra, and then you can like use the knife thing.
Foreshadow.
So leap attack.
AK, if you could please get
But we
one
don't wanna
random
make
die
them
roll
nice. We
using
need to
a
gather the zombies.
2d10, that would be fantastic. Thank you.
I don't know. Oh, maybe just shooting
What the
the
crap?
Derringer's a gun. You can maybe scare them. Like shoot it up in the air.
Okay.
I don't know.
Nope.
Okay. Okay. I have no idea.
Without it, you
Okay.
You got it?
that,
I have ideas.
and then your
Okay.
attack forms the revolver.
Do you need ideas? Yet?
Yes, please, fire away. I'd like to
Okay.
hear what you're going to do, Johnny Appleseed.
Okay.
Two are just alternate.
I have a special attack with cider vinegar.
Oh, wait, just let me write this down. Thank you for the pre-roll. I now know what it is. Thank you.
I have a special attack with cider vinegar.
Correct.
And
Think of it as like Spider-Man, basically. You are able to take a cider vinegar shot and fire it at somebody.
oh, I get it.
Yeah.
But what I want to do is because if wine is left out too much, it turns into vinegar. So
True.
I figure I have like an ample supply. This pot is terrible, by the way, for my head.
This pot
ample
is terrible for my head.
Yes.
Sarah Sanders Odie, April 29th, 2017.
Okay. So I figured I have an ample supply with all the like wine making stuff. That there's lots of cider vinegar that I could be using.
You've got plenty of it to sell. I mean, you have
And
your
I
own
have my
stuff is
own.
what you use.
Okay, but I would like to like because I have domestic arts cooking, I want to take some of the wine essence that the zombies are after anyway, put it into the cider, and I want to put it more into where the herd is supposed to be, so they want to go toward it.
Wait, say that again? So you want to...
I want to cook with the grapes.
Where are you getting them?
From where the zombies are going. We're by a vineyard.
Yeah, but so you're...
You're running ahead of the zombies and going to get the stuff and then coming back with it?
Yeah.
So give me the whole thing again once more.
I'm
It's
trying
about-
to
you
piece
just
some
give me-
stuff together.
Okay.
I have cooking and
Uh-huh.
there's grapes nearby. I want
Uh-huh.
to take the grapes. I want to entice the zombies with the grapes. I didn't know if the cider would have anything to do with it. They get a penalty to checks. I thought maybe it could make them a little drunk, zombie drunk.
Okay, so you are able to target a zombie, but you aren't able to use it on everyone.
It
of
couldn't
the
be like a that happens.
If you are interested in somehow taking the grape hummus,
Yes,
P-O-M-A-C-E, I don't know.
Sure.
If you are interested in taking some of that and trying to use it to lead them away
Yeah.
from that direction,
That's what I
you
want.
can absolutely try and do that. Yeah.
Because I have cooking as a skill. And I have wilderness tracking, so I figure I could like help in survival. I could take them as like pretending they're like creatures that are not as sentient
Give me
as
a
humans.
cooking roll. Well, no, not now. When we do it, I'm sorry. Yes,
Okay.
you can get a bonus to your attempt to do this by taking these things
I
together.
want to entice the zombies back to where they're supposed to be.
Absolutely, we can try that. So that's what you're trying to lure them away using the leftover stuff.
Yes.
Okay,
And if it's part of the vinegar thing, I want
that's
it.
enough right there. just because you're asking to do a lot in one round.
Oh, but it's the rule of cool.
It is. It is.
I'm trying to
It
make
is.
it very cool.
It's cool. Anyone else?
Oh, I got a great idea.
Okay, you fire away.
See, I just happened to have invented a zombie luring device
Okay.
that you attach right to the end of the zombie shotgun, and when you fire it, it makes this particular noise that they find very alluring. So I'm gonna run up ahead and attach that as I'm going and try to draw them all the way back where we're supposed to be going.
Okay, so we got 2 people trying to lead them back the way you want them to be with various things. Okay, zombie luring device. Okay, I need 2 more.
Okay, I mean, I'm just gonna work with what I got here.
Yeah.
Because I'm a ninja, I know pressure points, right?
Yes.
So I am going to, like, do that thing where ninjas run with their arms behind their back.
Yes.
And then,
I love
like,
that run.
leap on a zombie, and then use my pressure point techniques to basically freeze it in place. And then if I have any extra moves, I'm gonna try to leap at another zombie and do the same thing, and another zombie and do the same
Sure,
thing.
you can get a few that way.
I wanna do that.
I mean, we are talking 597 zombies.
Yeah.
Because we lost
Thinking in
3.
the moment as a ninja.
No, it's cool. I mean, and if nothing else, it will start moving some.
Don't we also have the, what is that called? The inverse rule of ninja.
Power. The rule
Right.
of inverse ninja power.
She's
The fewer
one
ninjas they
ninja.
are, the more powerful.
She's
the ninja.
one ninja
I can
against
maybe, like,
597.
incapacitate, like,
She
100
could
of
get
them.
80, 90, 100 attacks off you.
Okay,
They're
good
just
point.
Yeah.
ninja.
Good point. Good point.
They can't
I-
possibly
100 of them.
defeat her.
Just
Good point.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, so I have etiquette upper class and
Yes.
foreign culture Mexico.
Yes.
Okay,
Please tell
I
me
also
how you use
have
this.
management administration.
Yes.
Okay, good. So I'm gonna pull out my gun because that's an actually useful thing to do. And I'm going to start yelling at my men with all of my men with my management administration stuff.
Right.
To get the damn zombies going in the right direction, because that's the only job we have.
You had one job.
You're supposed to
Okay.
do it affirmatively.
Oh, and you're all very, very handsome and smart.
Which would give you a bonus
There you go.
as Maria because you're doing a social interaction in an affirmative way.
Yeah. Please do the job that I've hired you for, and you will all be rewarded with cookies.
Okay, if we could get a
I can
vote
cook those cookies.
on which of these options. So we have an affirmative approach towards making the
Oh,
crew
cook
do
the
their
cookies.
job. We have, I have to remember who you are and then I remember what you're doing. We have the Richard Gatling zombie lure, which you're going to try to use to pull the zombies back on track. We have the
apple
Johnny
cookie.
Appleseed trying to just basically go grab the stuff that
food
they're
lure.
attracted
A
to
dragon
and
full
run it
ninja
ahead.
attack.
Grape.
And
cooking
then
the
we
grape.
have a ninja who is going to try and direct the zombies in the direction that we need them to go.
No.
Pressure point.
Pressure point.
I'm sorry.
Thousand lotus
I'm sorry.
attack.
That's right. That's
Thousand
right. I'm
lotus
sorry.
attack.
Stunning them.
Hundreds of
and such.
zombies in a blink of an eye.
There we go. There we go.
Stopping their dead nerve clusters.
You hush. Science.
Zombies are such good science.
No, I pointed out. I'm not arguing with it.
You're not Gatling anymore, so you don't realize that.
Johnny is all for this.
We're getting close, and as
I
soon as
managed to not turn into a wereowl just then. I think you should be impressed
Thank you.
with
Please
that.
restrain yourself.
Look at me go, girl.
So we're waiting on the
I'm
vote?
just waiting on the vote. It's
Okay,
almost there.
excellent.
I know who I'd vote
I feel
for.
obligated at this point, though, to point out to you all that you all have boosted versions of your normal abilities too,
But do we
which
both?
the avatar does. You do
Boosted.
we boosted
boosted,
the avatar,
yes.
not as the player.
not. Yes,
Those are player
which
abilities.
means that currently the boost.
Oh, thirst.
Oh, that's
Those are-
true.
those are
They're
pilot
player.
abilities.
That's true. Those are player abilities.
Yes.
See,
Those are not. Those are pilot abilities.
So we need to be in our avatars at some point
You will
today.
be. You will be.
Just not during combat
I want
today.
to. I want to honor the results of what Chad has said.
No, I agree.
The agent has won,
Yay!
so the
gotta be
ninja
the
is going to
running
be
thing.
very successful and will have a critical success on her attempt to start pressure pointing
pointing the
the
zombies.
various zombies.
Okay,
It's faster than the eye
So
can
first
see.
up is going to be Emily Dickinson.
Yeah.
that's not me.
What do I need to roll?
Oh, and I got to do this part too. I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
One last thing. I have to make all these things go together. So, 3 other things are going to happen because
Okay.
we had to roll this earlier. Whew.
What now? What is that? What is happening
We're all
over there? Go
behind the tape tables.
So, Jenica, you have been foreshadowed.
Okay,
So your role has already been determined for you.
with 12s and not the 8s that I was
Correct.
going to roll, and I have a penalty because I did not win the rule of
Correct. So we have your role. We have what's going to have all of this
You
stuff.
boned.
son of
So
a
your
bugger.
foreshadow has happened. It's what it is.
It is.
We're not
what it
blaming
is.
you.
We're not.
We're not.
No.
It's later.
The Maria,
Talk.
you're being buffered. So half of what you do is going to happen next round.
So this round I only shoot my guns into the air, and next round I tell them to do their jobs.
In an affirmative way. It just means that their action will be a little delayed. So you'll do what you'll do. It'll be good. Promise you. I'm on your team. I promise you. And then the other one who has also been buffered.
Not me.
4. The other buffering is also going to be on Ninja Emily Dickinson right now.
No.
Which means that you're going to critically succeed on this, but part of your success will bleed over into the next round.
Okay.
That's
like
my
buffering in a
problem to
video
deal with
game.
on how to
It,
say
like-
that.
You're like,
So, first up is Emily Dickinson.
Sweet. So I am rolling d8s.
you don't have to roll.
You don't
You have to roll
I don't have to
all.
roll anything.
You
Just
had a
have to
critical
use-
success.
Yes.
You've been completely successful. So you run in, doing your run. Pressure point. And in the midst of all of that, you somehow manage to hit several additional zombies, far more than any earthly person should ever have been able to do.
But only half of them.
Seriously? 81 zombies you managed to do. I'm not
help
in
stem the
control
tide.
of what it is. However, the actual stunning will not happen until the next round.
Because they gotta
Because
grind to a halt
yes. But you were able to. So they start, but they slowly are doing the thing.
Alright.
Johnny Appleseed.
Yes.
You, Johnny Appleseed, you are able to somehow you tap into the spirit of the West and you run your Johnny Appleseed bare feet off and you manage to get in front of some of this group and
locate some of this byproduct.
Grab all the grapes.
grab some of the grapes, the pomas and stuff to start running away. What is your base roll with the penalties that you have now? You have a 5-point penalty from losing the vote.
What? 3-point penalty.
Oh, that's right. I keep saying 5. I might have to change it. I'm kidding.
No.
3-point penalty. So what is your?
3-point penalty for what? I don't know. What am I trying to roll?
That's true. Because what are you trying to roll?
And chat rolled for me, so
I
it
know.
doesn't really matter.
I know what your role is. I got to figure out what the hell you were doing with trying
Nobody
to do this.
knows.
You said you wanted to use cooking.
I'm cooking, which is a 12, so a 9. I'd have to
So
get
a
a 9.
9. And you said you wanted to use wilderness survival, which is at a 10, but is now effectively at a 7. Okay, so you failed on both. Because chat's roll for you was a 10.
Yeah.
So you run ahead and you were able to grab the stuff
Yeah.
and you start running with it.
Yeah.
And on the plus side, the zombies are starting to respawn. On the downside, you do slosh some of it on yourself as you're running, and you are now effectively a tasty treat in their mind.
Great.
But you won't be him in a moment, so you won't have to worry about it. Sorry.
That'll be your problem again for maybe a
That's all
round.
right. Yeah,
Richard Gatling, you're up next.
Sorry.
And I'm at the -3.
Correct. -3 or a 3-point penalty on your zombie lure device that you somehow managed to have on you.
Electron. What would that be? Because I mean, I don't have to fire it
it's a
at
gadgeteering
anything.
type
I'm just firing it as a.
It's just a dinner
as a
bell and him
lure.
shouting
It's a
free
dinner
brains.
bell. Yes.
Give me a mechanics and electronics roll.
With the -3.
3-point penalty to each.
That's a pass by 5,
Okay.
and that is a pass by 3.
Okay, you were able to get another.
4. Sorry.
I like
All total,
poetry.
you were able to get another
That's-
89 zombies to start following you in the correct direction.
That's almost a third of them.
Between the two of you, you've got 170 zombies that are
Back in
starting to
line.
respond to go back in line. There's still more to take care of, though. Next up is going to be Maria.
Aha!
Oh, but you're buffering, so they aren't going to start moving yet, just so you know. On your thing. They're all still doing their thing. Oh, no, you're not buffering.
He's
buffering.
buffering.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, yes.
I'm sorry,
Caught up.
she's buffering.
Yes.
and he-
And I am he and I am she buffering.
Yeah,
Two
and I'm
bufferings.
riding around very majestically, like getting my workers going.
Yeah.
I'm inspiring.
You got to do the yip.
affirmative.
Also, I'm also not what everyone assumes.
Are you also
What did you
vegan?
roll? Why are you impressed with
That's
yourself?
a good roll. On your turn, you are going to get that crew so worked up, especially with your bonus from affirming and the fact that I just rolled 100. You're going to get 100 of those zombies with your herders. They're going to start moving them in the right direction.
Yeah.
It'll happen on the next turn, but
Hey.
we're making serious progress, folks.
By then, I'll be someone else.
We've got about 270 of those zombies that are starting to go in the right direction. However, most of them aren't yet because actions have been buffered and they're all still moving, and there's still a lot of them. So what happens next is some of the local farmers and wine folk very not happy with what is going on. And so they are going to keep yelling off at you. what the hell y'all think you're doing?
Yeah.
And they start pulling out rifles and pistols, and they start shooting at the zombies.
Can I thing at them? Can I thing them a peaceful song?
Well, we're at the end of the meltdown, so you're no longer Johnny Appleseed. You can go back to your
Oh,
regular
that's
character.
delightful.
now.
This bull.
Thank goodness.
Yes.
That is delightful.
Here,
Alright,
Richard.
There you go. That's that.
But they start firing off at the zombies.
Wait.
The people were already out here?
Yeah, I said there were the people who were working the wine presses and such.
The wine
They were all working out here armed?
Yeah.
in the country.
Okay.
It's
There's
the wild
Jackalope.
I'm just asking.
There's
There's jackalopes
zombies
and
in
stuff.
this world. There are zombies and jackalopes out here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
you
all
can
sorts of
have
things.
guns.
Zombies and
And
jackalopes
they
in the
do
wild.
the I think I said there were 7 or 8 of them. So we're going to say that there are 7 of them. And out of those 7, they start firing away, and they are able to drop 2 of your zombies.
Dang it!
That's 5 head down.
Yep.
Bother.
Uh,
Are we still in initiative?
Yes, you are. And Emily is up
Oh, Emily
first.
is next. Great. What
Yeah.
am I doing?
More ninja shit.
Oh yes, okay. I would like to continue with
And
my.
those farmers, the wine people are just yelling at you guys like, "What the hell do you think you're doing? Control your herd!"
stop shooting at him then, dumbass!
So I, while ninja pressure pointing
Yeah.
them, as many zombies as I can.
Yeah.
I am also trying to indicate to the farmers that we have it under control, and if they could please stop shooting our livestock, it would be much appreciated.
That's fair. I can understand how that could be a real bummer.
Yes. So I try to convince them with intimidation, actually, that they should stop shooting at our herd.
Okay.
If I could do this to zombies, think what I can do to you.
Give me an intimidation check.
Do it.
And actually, because you did just critically kick the crap out of a whole bunch of zombies in front of them,
Yes.
give yourself a 2-point bonus.
Nice.
Excellent. Son of a... No.
No?
I did not intimidate them.
No, they weren't impressed. I mean,
Oh, I do have my buff. I think I'm going to intimidate them to stop shooting, so I'm using my Patreon buff.
okay.
And then I beat it by 2.
Well, there you go. And you did it in an affirming way?
Uh-huh.
Okay. In that case,
Always.
yeah, you
I
are
intimidate
able
affirmatively.
to have an impact on these folks who are firing off, and about half of them start. You know, they kind of put down their weapons. Say, "You got these guys under control?"
I get to intimidate the other half.
Yes, we obviously have them under control. Again, think what could happen to you as I'm doing this to the
They're starting to lower their rifles a bit. I mean, they look concerned because they've got hungry zombies, shuffling in their direction.
If you could convince your friends also to stop shooting, that would be most excellent.
Yes. And a reminder again, you still have your boosted and your basic abilities. Just be aware of all the things you have to play with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And next up is Johnny Appleseed.
Standing there
Yeah.
with all this stuff in my hands,
Yeah.
And on you.
covered in slop.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
And some of the zombies are starting to
Well, come on now.
they start
Come
moving
get
in your
yourself
direction.
some dinner.
They don't look aggressive, but they're kind of going.
They're not very fast. I'm not really worried. I'll let them smell it, and I'm gonna keep
Okay.
going with it. Come on, stupid.
So you're trying to get some of the zombies to follow you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep going with it. I look like a big mobile, like one of them rabbits that they use at the dog races.
You know what? Since you're such a good sport to use, since you were such a good sport to put yourself in that situation, yeah, you were able to get another 41 zombies. They start finding you.
Come on, get yourself some Johnny Appleseed. Everybody wants some Johnny Appleseed. Might not be any different.
And yes, you can start leading them away in that direction as well. Richard Gatling, you're up next. Your last turn was spent using your zombie lure.
My zombie lure. Yeah. What does that do?
It's
zombies.
when you fire the shotgun bullet through the.
Did it do
It
anything?
creates
It was
noises that they
to
attract.
attract the zombies in the direction you wanted them to go.
And it did.
And it did. It was
You
very
haven't
effective.
tested it yet. but
And
it
at this
works.
point, as far as the foreshadow or the buffering is concerned, I'm just going to say that it's hitting. So you have effectively pulled 311 of these zombies
See how
back.
many of them?
Which leaves
The
only
direction you go.
300 or a little less than
which
300
leaves
to go.
284.
That is just a little less than 300, unless I'm mistaken.
Correct.
Okay. Just wanted to be sure.
Yes, 284 left.
All right. Well, there's a lot of things I could do, but there's only one thing I want to do.
Well, Mr. Gatling, you should
wanna
do
dance?
that thing then.
You want to dance?
Nope. I'm going to use my special ability hack sword.
Okay.
Flip over to Crash.
Okay.
Because he's just a little bit more level-headed about these kinds of things.
Yes.
Then I'm going to...
Does anyone want to give him a buff before?
I'm gonna do my buff to give him some min-maxing so that no matter what he does, he can use D8s on both of
Well,
his sheets.
and as I've let you do before, because he's already on the D8, I will let you either use a D8 on your avatar or D6 if you're using a player or a pilot.
Okay, I think I'm probably using a player ability, a pilot ability anyway.
Okay.
But I'm also going to spend another one.
Okay.
Because what my plan is not so much like I like the zombie lure and I'm letting that do its work, so I stick it in the ground and do whatever it's going to do. But I'm going to run around and run up to one and forcibly body tackle, shove a zombie in a very particular direction, which is the direction that we are going. So, giving him the old not bank punch, but the bank shove, or a bank throw rather,
I see what you're saying.
and getting him going that way. So I'm going to throw him.
So you're going to use your boosted ability of your Titan Punch.
I'm using my Titan Punch.
You're not going to use it to just punch a zombie, but
Right.
rather to take that zombie and bowl them in the direction you want them to go?
Yes.
Sure.
And then I'm activating my second hack sword,
Okay.
so it hits all of my targeted opponents.
As a multi, yes.
As a multi-attack. So I'm throwing one guy, but I'm really throwing 300.
Cool.
You're creating a domino effect.
That is correct.
What I'm going to do for your multi-attack then is I'm going to roll the percentiles I've been doing multiple times.
Right.
How I'm going to do it, and then you'll get a huge chunk of those guys with that.
Right, that was the idea. Yeah.
No, I like it. I like it. I like it a lot.
I'm using one zombie as a sympathetic link between...
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Zombies play follow the leader too.
I hope so. I need a 6. 'Cause I'm making sure the Crash
And
hits
you
him.
get to roll the 2d6s, right?
All right, let's see how he does.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That's 5, so beat it by 11.
Oh, that is really
Oh.
good. We'll give you another one of these then. Okay, so so you were able to somehow summoning a combination of a lot of this is coming from Crash actually, because it's Crash's Titan Punch.
Yeah, I just felt it, man.
Yeah, from the previous, you tapped into the Kid Titan's power from the previous world.
good.
You grab one of those zombies and you throw them.
Yeah, just breeches and collar and just huck.
Huck, and you're hucking them through some of the others, trying to knock them all in the right direction.
Well, the idea is because I'm using the hacking buff to hit everybody.
Yeah.
I lift one of them and they all just kind of go, whoa! Like they're being pulled by an unknown force.
Gotcha. So you're trying to pull them in that direction. That's what's happening. So you
By
were
chucking one of them.
I like it. I tell you what.
Because that's all my buffs, I think. Oh, I got one
I
left.
tell you what. Before I resolve this, I would like to ask Maria what she would like to do.
So I need to understand how to best utilize my blast of marshmallow.
That's exactly what I was hoping you would ask about.
That's perfect.
So what?
So do I need to
I'll
flip
hold.
to
So
the
I think
player
that's perfect.
side here?
So what I think would be the best combination here would be is if you tap into your Fluffernutter blast, you could use that blast to basically weld together, so to speak, or stick together the remaining zombies.
Yes.
And
Such
And I can
that
just throw them as a
you
giant
can
group.
throw them as a giant group.
I'll also use
so
my
my
other
question
min-max.
is, do I need to flip to the player side to do that?
Well, see,
Jebediah has
I'm
a
going to
thing.
use my other min-max so that she gets
You
the
do not
best
need to.
dice roll of
Because
D8.
basically what happens is there's a lot of rule breaking that happens in the game, as you've probably figured out.
Yeah.
The buff that Kelly's character has allows him to let anyone else roll based on the best possible die in their situation.
So it's like we're kind of in both
And
places.
so even though you're in a spot right now where technically you can't even access your pilot, Kelly's buff allows you to just
do that.
screw
Or
it.
do
Pretend like
that
it's here
anyway.
and there.
Add a D8, no less.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm rolling a d8. What do I need?
So go ahead and give me a 2d8 roll.
You want a low, roll double ones.
9.
9. That's fine. Totally. Yeah. That's absolutely fine. So
I
yeah.
meant
So
to do
you
that.
somehow Maria, because of her previous piloting experience, and we never really learned who, or at least we haven't today, who her previous pilot was. But whatever avatar she was in before, this avatar somehow had connections to affirmations and marshmallows marshmallows and owls, and I don't know. I don't know who she might have been the avatar of. But
We'll find out eventually.
yes, but she's able to summon mystically this blast of sticky marshmallow and peanut butter fluffernutter that goes and coats through the remaining zombies, the ones who have not been convinced yet to turn tail and go back on track.
And now they just kind of stuck to their fellows.
The same time that this occurs, Richard Gatling, Professor Richard Gatling runs forward in a very proper way and manages to grab hold of one of the zombies and
Fling it.
fling it.
That is simply...
In doing so,
About 300
in
yards.
doing so, an odd thing happens at that exact moment, just as he's doing it.
Uh-oh.
Professor Richard Gatling, in his travels and in his tinkerings and stuff, had once upon a time set about trying to find ways to improve one person's travel. And he had a prototype of a type of boot that he would use. And these boots,
no.
he'd forgotten
It's
that
gonna
he
happen.
occasionally would put them on. And it's a hack attack. I have nothing to do with it.
Oh, yes.
And this moment,
Rocket boots away.
in this moment, his rocket boots, for some reason, decide to fire off. They have been dormant for so long, he forgot he was wearing them. But they kick off. And so not only does he throw somehow these 300 zombies, he flies off into the distance, carrying nearly 300 zombies with him in tow, half stuck together with a combination of marshmallow and peanut
Is he
butter.
taking off with my herd? Is he a flesh wrestler?
And you hear the professor yell out in shock and horror, something in shock and horror. He clearly did not do this on purpose.
This was not what I had intended!
As he flies off in the direction of the kingdom of Yosemite.
At least
Limited.
he's going
In the
where we
right
want
direction.
to go.
He is. He's going off in the right direction.
By himself with
He's in the
300
right
Yes.
direction.
They're all stuck together
Away
with...
from the vineyards and
He is.
towards where we're going, towards
they're,
Yosemite.
they're all stuck together with goo. I communicate with him.
Yeah, I'll try and hold them together till you get here.
Talk to
It's my
Gatling.
job.
Yeah, so he's able to stay in touch with you, and you're
Are
able to
you
do that.
all right?
But when you hit the ground,
Oh, that hurts like hell, I imagine.
it does.
can land
but
all
we
your
can-
squishy
fluffernutter.
Yeah, I mean, you're
Fluffer
kind
butter.
of you come out of it a little uncomfortable because you're stuck in all of it. But the marshmallow fluff
And
is
I'm
not
all
the worst
crashed
stuff to
right
land
now,
in.
so it's just...
Yeah, Crash is a little confused by the experience he just had. And as you kind of pull yourself out of this, and the zombies they're basically stuck because they can't free their arms.
Nope.
And so they're just this tangled mess of, we're gonna have to clean them off somehow.
We're gonna hope it doesn't rain before we get to you.
Vinegar.
Or I can think of someone who has access to a geyser right now.
Yes,
that could
when
be
I get
used
there, we could
to
definitely
clean
do that.
them off. And so you're able to make amends with the vineyard folk.
Excellent.
All their kids get some nice treats.
There is.
I'll write
there-
them little poems.
Yeah, they were upset at first, but ultimately, in the course of conversation, you're able to figure out with
Hey, can I
them
borrow
that,
some meta points?
that yes, they did. They're upset about the fence being broken, and for Maria, the cost of repairing the fence is beyond negligible. So you take care of it. They apologize for putting down a couple of your herd once they realize what's going on, although it was understandable given the situation. And yeah, and so then they do request that you take them with
Yeah,
you because it's
obviously.
but all in all,
I
losing
try to
5
get them
zombies on
neatly
this trip so
stacked by the
far is
time
not
everyone
bad.
arrives.
So you get forward to where the rest of the zombie pile is, and you're able to lead them forward, and you find this mess, and Richard Gatling is just kind of standing there. You're probably doing something scientific in the midst of it, or cleaning yourself off. Johnny Appleseed comes over and tapping into Jebediah's prior identity as Riptide. You are able to unleash a geyser of water somehow from your fingers that does wash away
But you
the
could just
marshmallow fluff
tap a rock.
and the peanut butter and clean them all up to where they'd be fit to get back on the trail. And the group of you is kind of standing around and just taking stock of what has occurred and such. And up ahead. I
Up
apparently am
ahead?
done speaking for the day. Good night, everybody. No.
Night, Dad.
Up ahead, you see a group of people riding in your direction. And
Are we
you
expecting?
and there seems to be about a dozen of them.
Uh-oh.
A dozen.
Uh-huh.
Guns free.
That's like 12.
And the ones
Yes, ma'am.
and 11 of them are riding on horses. And the one in the lead
Not a jackalope.
is on a bison.
A bison?
An
not a
American bison.
What's he wearing?
Like a buffalo.
You like
but
on the
not,
Great
'cause it's
White
really
Buffalo?
A
Since
bison.
I have the
And as he's
wait, hold
riding
on.
forward and starts coming into view, you see it's a stocky man with a thick mustache, somewhat wide-brimmed,
I remember him from the Pixies.
has wire-rimmed glasses,
Mr. President.
and a large staff attached to his saddle.
A staff?
A staff, you might call it a big stick.
I might.
Is
Okay.
it like a shillelagh? Cudgel.
And he pulls up to you all, and you might have your weapons leveled. He doesn't seem phased by it in the slightest.
I'm in swarm form because I have that right now.
Okay, sure. Why not?
He's all like, "That's nice."
He pulls up. He and his party do not seem to be bothered at all by the fact that you have these zombies or that you are pointing weapons at him.
Or that I'm a swarm of.
No, that you're a swarm. Just takes it in front, whatever, and he pulls up and he
This king.
and he says, "It is good to see you all. What a fine-looking party of adventurers. Glad to see the stock in such good hands. Bully, you must be Dona Valdez de Villa. It is an honor, ma'am." And he bows and tips his hat at you. "Truly, quite impressed with your business acumen down in the City of Angels. Excited to see what the future entails for you up north. Bully!"
The great
And,
Roosevelt.
And the attendant, who's on a horse next to him, she clears her throat and she says, His Royal Highness decided that it had been, and she looks kind of nervous and like she's kind of looking at him like, what stupid thing is he going to do next? His Royal Highness decided that it had been too long since his last excursion from the kingdom, and he insisted we ride out to meet you before you arrived at Yosemite.
Lower your weapons.
He realizes this isn't exactly the plan, but will still pay you for the full agreed upon amount for the stock. You and your contractors would then be free to return home.
Well,
Bully.
that sounds good to me.
And he is now hopped off in the midst of this. He's just somewhat clueless. He's hopped off of the bison and he's wandering towards the zombies, and he's just very nonchalantly, as if they were horses or cattle or something else, just walking up to them and grabbing them by the head and checking
the
their
teeth.
teeth and things like that, and going over to the next one and tapping them a bit and wandering around. And this man is fearless. I mean, he's just, you can't tell if he is the bravest or stupidest human being to ever walk the planet. Somewhere in between, who knows? But he's doing this while all of his other attendants are just kind of doing that, just kind of sighing and shaking their head, and you know. And when this guy says that to you, or when the attendant, when she said this, Tyrone, who's still with you, he says, well, you know, no, ma'am, if you're game for it, I mean, makes sense to me. You get paid either way, and we can get on back down to get back home and deal with some other business.
Sounds good to me, Tyrone.
You know, he looks over at you three and says, I don't want to be presumptive or presumptuous or whatever, but you know, your guys' contract does call for escorting the herd all the way to the kingdom.
We had planned to, Your Highness.
Oh, I definitely think that's the best thing for us to do.
Oh, well, fantastic. It looks like we're all on the same page.
Yep. Guess we'll be
And,
splitting ways here.
It was nice working with you.
It was.
He starts he goes over to his bag and starts getting the fees to pay them off and such.
I frequently write letters. If you wanted to correspond, we could correspond.
Now, I'm working on a device that could help you correspond over long distances without the need of the Pony Express.
Curious.
What do you call it, Richard Gatling?
Oh, I call it the Gatling graph.
How does it work?
Yes.
Well,
yes.
you know how a telegraph works?
Indeed.
Very much like that, except there is a cylinder of wires that rotate.
Uh-huh.
That's fast.
I may
would
just
like to
write
see
you
how that works.
the regular way, if you would like.
Till he gets
Sure
that
enough.
up and running, of course.
I will, too. You'll see.
So the party prepares to depart. for one another.
With Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
his retinue.
His entourage.
And as Maria starts to leave,
do we hear?
And I apologize, I'm going to endow your character with something right now for you, but it'll be okay. As she starts to leave, she looks at the three of you and says, "I think you guys have potential. I'm glad to see that.
Well, thank you.
We'll meet again." And then, as you have always been able to kind of know when someone is a pilot, after she says those words to you, there's kind of a beat, and Maria kind of shudders a little bit, and then you don't see anything visually, but you are very aware that the woman standing before you now is Maria, is Donna Maria
Valdez de Villa.
She's all Avatar.
Donna Maria Valdez de Villa, but she is all Avatar. There is no pilot in there at all.
But that's very nice.
I've always wondered what we looked like when we jacked out. They shouldn't do anything funny with their face or anything.
She
Just
was
kinda
momentarily blank for a moment, but it was very, very brief. Anyone who wasn't looking for it probably wouldn't have noticed anything.
It's nice of you to say that.
But yeah, she says that to you, and she appears to be gone. And then you guys prepare to head off with
Mr.
King Theodore. Excuse me. No, I don't know who you guys are talking about. This is King Theodore of the Kingdom of Yosemite.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Mr.
And you guys prepare to head off back to lead the rest of the herd in that direction. I think we should give some serious thanks and whatnot. Yes. I know we have one more waffle.
Golden waffle.
I wouldn't mind the day to work on it though, because I don't have any guitar stuff for it yet.
Oh, you don't?
No. I mean, I've got a guitar and I can fake it. But
the one from last week?
Yeah,
we could do 3 waffles next week.
Yeah, no, I just want to make sure I get the music I want for this instead of the music I was forced to use.
Oh, okay. Yes, cool. Just make sure that it's all in the stuff of yeah.
Oh no, don't worry.
Cool. So I know that we've unlocked at least 2 more waffles today, so we're gonna have to go not overtime, but we're gonna have to push hard next week, and we'll give you major waffleage.
Waffles.
I think everyone should introduce themselves. We can just go around.
Are we doing character?
Just yourself.
Just ourselves.
Yeah, it's chaos enough.
Yeah.
Yes.
My name's Christian Doyle, and that's it.
Can you repeat?
My name is Christian Doyle.
And that's
not a full repeat.
And that is it.
There you go.
My name's Kelly Fusion.
Hi.
And that is it.
Hi, I'm
You can't have the same name as me.
I'll just wait. I'll just wait. That was my teacher. I'll just wait.
And go.
Hi, I'm Sarah Sanders Odie.
Hi, I'm Strix. Some of you probably already know me from Death from Above. I do a whole lot of things in games, including designing and writing and consulting, and you can find me on Twitter at _STRIX. You guys are cool. Affirmations for everybody.
I want to thank Strix for coming to play with us this week.
Yeah.
It was really fun, especially you jumped in just fine, and thank you for dealing with the chaos and insanity of the show.
Great.
Huge thank you to chat. You unlocked so many things. I'm dumbfounded, and that's really cool. We'll figure out some more tweaking to do with it, as we always do week to week. Just to make sure that we are listening to what you guys are saying and such. And you can always depend on Sarah and I to watch the VOD later and see the messages that you oftentimes leave.
Yeah, I watch them too.
You guys are
true.
super.
Paxwell and Fractalized several times.
Yes.
Cupcake has dropped some stuff. Want to specifically also, in addition to thanking Strix for this week, want to thank, or not thank, but next week we're going to have Lisa Coronado is coming back for a couple weeks.
Oh.
So that's going to be fun to introduce her character, as well as Matt Vansel, who, those of you who have ever watched any of the Gamers movies or Journey Quest, he's the writer of those and is a very fun guy.
Director of a few of them.
Yeah,
Old school
excited
people,
to
if you watch
introduce Matt
Demon
to you.
Hunters.
One of our
the
improv
demon.
old school. It's going to be good to get.
It's going to be good. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
If you have not already checked it out, Void Smoker did some awesome fan art on Twitter of the new avatars. I thought that was really neat. And if I hadn't told you this already, Paximo did some fan fiction based on the idea of these characters and such. Some fan fiction involving the Emily Dickinson character.
And we're still using it.
We loved it so
I loved
much. We loved it so much that it's canon.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
it
Canon.
basically kind of inspired our group dynamic in a lot
Yeah,
of
it
ways.
actually changed some things we talked about in a really positive way. So
if you have
anyone
ideas-
else, if you have ideas and stuff, please feel free to
Metaverse.
do it. And we are very amenable to to playing with it and changing things. But yeah, that is, if you get a chance, please check out the work that they have done and know that it's just fantastic. Please check out Zombie Orpheus on YouTube and Facebook and Patreon and Twitter and wherever else. And I mean, yeah, just on behalf of the whole group, and they can say it for themselves too, thank you. You guys are amazing. I know we're the only show here on Saturdays typically, but it is awesome to have your support and love. And again, major props to QQ for the new overlays and just everyone for all the work that's going on.
Yay!
Take care, and we've got 3 golden waffles for you next week, which is insane.
Woo! Whoa.
3 waffles. It'll be
3
awesome.
waffles. Bye, guys.
Take care.
Bye!